Hey, well, first off, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Minimal Podcast. And today we're gonna be here with our special guest Pandroid. And you could say hi to everybody and talk about who you are and what you do.
Oh, hello, hello. Hi, my name is Ryan. I am from the Bay Area, which is the east side of North California, and I am a dancer. I also do videography and photography, and my brain farted. Hold on. Yes, and yeah, I also stream on Twitch. That's what I wanted to say, but we're like on it right now, so it just like froze. But yes, I
Yeah.
also do that. Yeah. Um, and I like fashion and stuff. So that is me. Pleasure to meet you all if I have not met you yet. Yeah, and thank you, Proto, for having me here.
No problem. Let's talk a little bit about your backstory, like a main reason why you wanted to do what you're doing now.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so um I'll break this down into three sections then. Or maybe four, I guess, if you want to include fashion, since it seems like Psycho is talking about fashion. But I will start with dancing because I think that's the first thing that came about in terms of the all the things I do at the moment. And dancing came about when I was a teenager and like I didn't really do much back then. I was filming stuff, but it wasn't like professionally, of course. I just got into it because it was a cool hobby. But then dancing just like caught my attention because my friend was doing it, and he was really good, and I was really intrigued by like how he danced, and I just kept making fun of his dance moves to the point where, yeah, I got like he was like, dude, you're getting kind of like good at making fun of me. Why don't you just try it? And like I never thought of it that way, you know. I was like, dude, why don't I just like if I just took what I did now in terms of how sarcastic it is at the moment and actually tried to make it kind of serious, maybe it might be good. So I did and ended up falling in love with it and never stopped since. So that's how I started dancing. It started from making fun of somebody.
that's okay. Uh, and then what's like about the type of fashion that you like and clothes that you like to wear?
Sure, sure. Oh, that's a great question. That one was actually not asked in Soul Park's stream, so this is a fresh question for you. So my fashion came from some of the brands I love the most is Nike and Jordan. That's like my number one brand. Um, but I also like Champion. Champion is very minimal, very fresh, and like a very well-known brand that's affordable to all, and even they have like higher end lines as well. Mm, But as for me, I don't do the super high end because a part of me represents kind of where I grew up, which was I grew up kind of like more so in the hood side of NorCal, which is I grew up in a town called Richmond, or it's called El Cerrito, but it's kind of wedged in between this town called Richmond and Berkeley and Oakland, which is like it's not as ghetto, but when the time I grew up was in the '90s, so it was a lot more
Mm.
ghetto. And I wear my street fashion is more like the fresh for less idea because the history of streetwear is called streetwear is because it was the affordable thing and in terms of hip hop and you want to look fresh in hip hop but it was also affordable. This was before street fashion became now they're rocking Louis and Gucci and Supreme and I don't even know when Supreme became so expensive like honestly but
Yeah.
like now it's brands if you're like there's like two different ways now there's like street fashion which is like it is what it said like streetwear and then there's like the culture of streetwear where it's like ridiculously expensive things and they're all tying in like Dior and there's like all these crazy Louis Vuitton Supreme Champion Nike collabs it's like $2,000 for a shirt. I'm like come on dude like that's not the streetwear I represent because one I can't afford it, two I feel like I wouldn't it's kind of a lot but the streetwear I like is the same kind of brands just more so on the fresh for less side.
Yeah, I completely understand because like even now at my young age and when I first went to my first year of high school before the whole quarantine thing happened, there
Mhm.
was a lot of people like kids that would wear very expensive clothing and like have like the latest iPhone, Apple Watches, AirPods, and all that stuff, and would be like you know having really expensive stuff, even though they, in my opinion, they shouldn't be having all of that expensive stuff and should be using it for more, like things that will actually be useful in their life than an Apple Watch that they will probably only use to like look at their messages in class or something.
Very true. So like I've mentioned, you are definitely ahead of your time in terms of the way you think. Yeah, and like a lot of dude, even like people like that, they get like the Louis Vuitton AirPod cases, and I'm just like, yo, that's cool, that's tight. But, like that's like $400 just for that's more expensive than the pod itself, dude.
Yeah, like I knew a kid in my high school. Like he was like like I don't want to be offensive to any short people, but like he was really short. He was like 4'11", and you
Oh,
would be you would be here like you would see him just walking in with Tim's and like some really good jacket and like with some AirPods and Apple Watches and like I'm like, where are you getting this money from? Like I
yeah.
wish I had that, but
I
you know,
respect the drip. I respect the drip, but I will say this: it's like a lot of people one thing in street fashion culture also is like when you get that kind of amount of drip, you would say, right, it's because you kind of represent the things you worked for. It's like you hustled or you worked hard to represent what you're wearing and how
yeah,
you pay, if you pay for something, right. Let's say sometimes I do buy expensive things, like I have very expensive Jordans that I don't wear often. Those are like my grails, right. But I work very hard for those. They're expensive. They're collectors to me, and I only wear them out when I know I won't get them dirty. Like if it's a rainy day, there's no chance I'm wearing these out. You know?
yeah,
Yeah, but
no, yeah.
yeah, those are the pieces. There are certain pieces that we work for, but like when it comes down to just like the drip, and you don't really represent the drip through your journey, and you don't really embody your style, and it becomes a different story, you know?
Yeah, because like at least for me, my clothes are like really really boring. I don't really like go after brands or anything. I just go like in terms of clothes, I just buy myself some jeans, some black and white shirts, and that's it. And then like
Solid.
my shoes, I don't change them until they're literally broken. Like I only have one pair of shoe, which are some boots right now, and that's it.
I love that. That's awesome, actually.
Yeah.
And actually, I have a funny story to kind of follow up and correlate with what you just said. Is that so? When I was younger, right, I didn't really know fashion as well, but I always knew I liked people that look cool. So I had to kind of go through phases to learn it.
Oh
And at
yeah.
one point, I had so much clothing that I didn't know what to wear, and I got overwhelmed, and I wouldn't leave the house for like 3 hours. And yeah, this is a true story. When I was about 23 or 24, and then like one day, I just like flipped, and I was like, "Why? What the hell are you doing? Like, why do you have all this crap?" And I saw this book called, I forgot what it was called, but some of you might know it in the chat. It's written by a Japanese woman named Marie Kondo, and it's a book about cleaning. And she said that she like was obsessive with cleaning to the point where she passed out, and like she went into this trance when she passed out, where she saw like the goddess of cleaning, and like she descended upon her and told her that like if it doesn't bring you happiness, if you have to think twice about it, throw it away. And that was so foreign to me because like my parents are like low-key hoarders, or they were before this
Mm.
happened, right? And I guess that mentality kind of like shifted onto me into being like a clothing hoarder, because like I would have a bunch of clothing, but I would wear just two or three things. So like I went through this phase where I was like, just throw everything away or donate it. And I heard that people like Steve Jobs, or uh, Elon Musk, or like the person that owns Zappos, like he or they only have a few sets of clothing, and they all look the same. So they look like they wear the same things every single day, but it's actually just a couple of pairs of the same thing. So they have like two pairs of shoes, a bunch of same colored socks, a bunch of the same colored shirts, a bunch of different same colored slacks, right? And they said this because they say things like clothing take away your brain power and your thinking time. So they rather just not think about it and wear the same thing every day and take that rest of the time and energy to focus into what they love. So when I heard that and I read that book, I didn't finish the book, by the way, just letting you guys know, but I got enough of it to clean my house. Um, and then we did that, I did that. I threw everything away, and I only kept. I had three pairs of black T-shirts. Or not pairs, but I had three black T-shirts, three white T-shirts, two hoodies, one pair of khakis, one pair of jeans, and a pair of Tims and a pair of Air Forces. And that was all I had for over 2 years on purpose. And I got so much done in life those 2 years, you have no idea. But then that's when I started to like kind of find my love back into fashion. I started to realize, oh, like you do like looking good. So then it became very like kind of like picky with what I want. I became very picky. I became very wise with how I chose what I wanted, and I had to know that I really, really, really wanted it, and that I would it would match with the other things I wore. So it became more of like a tactical way of buying fashion instead of just being like, "That's dope, I'm gonna get it. That's dope, I'm gonna get it." And next thing you know, you have a bunch of shit and you wasted tons of money. You know?
Yeah, because at least for me as well, like if it's just any black or white shirt, yeah, hell yeah, I'm taking that if I don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then like if I want something extra, that would be like I would probably have to think about it before actually getting it because like right now, I actually did buy myself something else. I think it was when was it? I think it was like on Wednesday. I bought myself a blazer because I really like my dad bought one earlier as well and it looked really cool and I wanted it. And I was like I had like enough money to buy myself one even though it was like pretty cheap in terms of blazers at least. And you know, I bought it and now I'm like I'm in love with it. I wear it every day even if I'm home all day, I still wear it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta feel good, you know, that's like the number one thing. And like I think the thing that was cool for me with Twitch is that I especially during COVID, you can't go anywhere really, right?
Yeah.
And like sometimes like I go out to get groceries or something and I'm just like fully like dripped out. I have like Jordans on, I have jeans and like like my jackets and stuff, and I'm in the middle of the grocery store and I'm like, damn, I look hella extra right now. Everyone's like, getting groceries, dude. But like I want to feel good, you know, I want to feel like I used to go out a lot because I work as a videographer. I'm a dancer, so I'm always networking and I'm always out. So I wanted to look good. I wanted to feel good and meet people and just kind of like show them my sense of like how I express myself as an individual through my clothing. But there's some days now where it's like you can't do that, right? So thanks
Yeah.
to Twitch, I've been able to look nice and feel good about myself in front of my camera. Other than being at the grocery store, like looking way too dripped out for no reason. I'm like, man, I need to calm down on the drip going to Safeway.
Yeah, that happened actually last night as well cuz I went outside like late at night because we were going to go buy something to eat and you just see my mom in just like a sweater because it was cold and then you just see
Mhm.
me in my blazer all in black just out just drip and then like everybody was looking at me like what is this kid doing? Except for some guy that was in front of the building, he actually was like, "Yo, that's actually really nice," and I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, see, he probably got the drip too. That's why he recognized it.
Yeah, no, but in terms of like Twitch, at least, I actually started in YouTube before Twitch, like so long ago. I think it was like 7 years ago. Because before I was always playing on my tablet when I used to have one, and I was like, "Yo, I love playing this game. I'm a god at this game. Let me go and like record my gameplay and upload it onto YouTube." And so I that that's pretty much what I did for like about a year or two, and then I was like, I look like an idiot playing these games. Let me just stop. I still have all of the videos in unlisted because I don't want anybody to see that. But yeah, I used to do YouTube like just gaming in general. I
Mhm.
tried I tried doing YouTube 3 times already. This is the third time, and so far each part has been unsuccessful. So
YouTube is very hard. I've
it
actually talked
is.
about this many times. It's the vast like. Actually, it's funny because I'm looking at my little what is it, like the equalizer bar in your
Yeah.
stream, and it's really wide compared to yours. Am I really loud on your end?
uh it's not that it's really loud, it's just that in terms of what's it called, um let me think, hold up, because in audio of like for the audio thing that I have here, uh for my ears you're pretty loud, but in terms of the actual stream it's not, which is why you sound like it looks higher for you.
Gotcha, gotcha. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't blowing everyone's ears out.
Yeah, no, no, no.
But yeah,
I
YouTube.
don't. Yeah, yeah, go.
Yeah, YouTube is just like it's a really big platform. It's the discoverability of it and the engagement of it is like it's pretty tough, like even if you make crazy work, if you're not cross cross platform advertising, it's difficult. It's difficult for
Yeah,
discovery and like engagement is like it's a totally different platform. I've tried YouTube as well just to like like for my brand I have the YouTube up and like
yeah,
even then I only have I think 100-ish subscribers, which is crazy because if I ever wanted to stand a chance I need 1,000 subscribers, and
mm-hmm,
and I don't even know how I would get there. I don't. I It was so hard to get to 100 even, and I was thinking to myself, it was like very discouraging because, you know, I like my work, and I think my work is pretty good,
yeah.
um, but it's just hard to get someone to subscribe or like I feel like unless you're the person who's doing YouTube, you don't really realize how difficult it is to get someone to actually hit the subscribe button. Like the interaction is like very difficult.
Like in terms of at least like being like actually being searched for and subscribing, I'm not great at that because even in the first and second time that I tried, I think the most amount of subscribers that I had was 32, if I'm correct.
Oh,
um yeah, so it's even lower than what you have. But one of my friends, she was an animator at the time, and she decided to do like a little skit that was completely original. And she was doing other videos before, and it wasn't really that, like, it wasn't really getting as much traction. But in that one video, because it was something so unique and different that no one ever saw, she got around like 500,000 views on just
oh
that video
my.
alone. I know, because like she was like getting like 50, maybe 60 views like a video. But then you just see her get like 500,000 out of nowhere, and we were on a school trip on that day. So she uploaded it last, like, the night before, and then while we were on the trip on our way back, she just like starts freaking out, and I'm like, what's going on, like, what's wrong? And then she just shows me her screen, and it's just that she's gaining mad subscribers out of nowhere, and we're like, what? Yeah, it was like, it's really crazy, like, when, especially if you get that like out of nowhere surprise. We were just
Mhm.
like looking at it, like the sub counter every like 5 minutes, actually not even every 5 minutes, like every 30 seconds, to see
Wow.
how many subscribers she would get. And she got up to like 30K in just one video.
Wow, that's amazing. And like as a part of me too that when I think about these things that are successful, I feel like it's three things, right, that may come into play. One is quality, two is consistency, and three is luck. You
Yeah,
know, uh, I feel like either one of those can be your golden ticket, but for a steady growth or like a likely very, very high chance of discoverability is that I think that would be the formula, which is you got to be consistent, you got to produce it with quality, and a part of it really is just your luck, like
yeah,
your luck. But like into what I think is by being consistent and producing with quality and passion, that I feel like increases your chances of luck. I know it's you can say luck is like this whole thing that's like you never know kind of thing, but
yeah,
I feel like if you do want to make it and if that's the goal, then I feel like it would increase your chances. And that's something that I've really thought about too, Proto. Like, how do I get more engagement in YouTube, or on Twitch? So I have a personal YouTube which is like super old. I don't post anything on there. I think I log on once every like 6 months, right? And then I have a brand YouTube, which I haven't really been consistent with because it's been very discouraging on YouTube. At least with Twitch, I have you guys and the fam and the friends and just new people that come in. Instagram is pretty cool because it's you know I'm familiar with it. YouTube though, like I just feel like it beat me up so hard over time. But I'm willing and ready to try again soon. And this is why it's an interesting topic for me that we've talked about YouTube and that you've been on YouTube because I feel like we can kind of use it as a place to uh cross cross promote,
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons that like people actually even get like a lot of views for a specific video is because of the collabs that they do, which is why a lot of big creators are collabing with other big creators so they can, merge together and then, get as many subscribers as they can and as many views.
Absolutely. And then like just even thinking about, so I was actually gonna make my first video on my personal YouTube, right? Called what is content? Right? 'Cause everyone talks about like we need content, blah blah blah, right? But the whole idea is that like you are the content. This is what
Yeah.
I've come to discover. And it's like talking about content, talking about what is content and where to get content is the content in itself. So I was thinking my first video should be more so on the line of like don't be afraid to start and don't be afraid to try and don't think that you don't have content because me talking about not having content is the content itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people get afraid to, or not afraid, but maybe anxious or like in doubt, like they feel doubt that it would work out because they might think they don't have content. But in reality, it's like, here's me, I'm coming out to tell you that I don't have content, which is my content. So I'm gonna try that soon, and hopefully that I'll share it with you guys. You guys can tell me what you think of it, and I hope it goes well. But if not, then it's like the video is proving its own point, kind of thing.
Yeah, like, and when it comes to what you just said, that you are the content, that specifically, it really is like, it's not always true though, because you could literally be a faceless, nameless YouTuber and you could still like rack views just for the voice, not for who you are specifically and the brand that you have.
Right. I also
Yeah.
feel like though, in what you just said, could be the brand itself. Like what you have going on right now, right? I like it so much, and clearly people in the chat love the interface because this is the brand. The brand is it's minimal and it's just content. It's people talking about stuff and like it's informational and you feel engaged and like a lot of the times too, when I drive, I like to drive a lot. So I would just play my favorite speakers when I drive. I don't watch the video. I don't need to. I want to be engaged in the story. So like
Mm.
I really like last time, remember I was at the supermarket and I was
Yeah.
watching your podcast on my phone. I had my AirPods in. I was driving to the supermarket and I was dripped out just like I said for no reason. I played your segment and then I was like trying to chat with you every time I went to a red light, but don't tell the cops that, okay? I'm not supposed to be doing that. And then I went into the grocery store, and as I was shopping, I had my AirPods on, and just the idea of like, faceless. Even if I was on here, uh, it would be just a black screen with the equalizer things going, and we don't need to be in some kind of like crazy, which is cool. I'm sure visual does help bring in a certain type of crowd, but there are people that love this kind of thing as well. So you technically you are the content, like even if we say that you're the host of the show, this is your overlay, this is your concept. So like I think that this is also proto, you know what I mean? This speaks, when you think proto, you think minimalist podcast, the black
Mm-hmm.
screen with the voices.
Yeah, like when it comes to this, at least, um, this is not something that I'm really good at, especially when it comes to doing this alone. Because I have asked other people if they wanted to work on it as well and be like a co-host, and I was like, because I really need it. I don't know how to like speak by myself, which is why I was like stuttering a lot and like messing up on my words on the first few episodes because I had no one else to talk to technically. Like even though there was chat, when it comes to actually bouncing off of someone and keeping the content flowing, it's so much harder when you're alone, and
Yeah.
especially when, let's say for example, the amount of viewers are smaller, so you don't know if they want to know one specific thing or if they have a question or etc etc. It's much harder doing it alone than doing with doing it with someone else, which is why a lot of other podcasts do it with at least one, two, or many co-hosts at the same time.
I agree. And the crazy thing too is, I had this thought the other day that, since I've kind of discovered more of like what I really wanted to do on Twitch, which I've talked about quite a few times, is like, more so just chatting and dancing and podcast talk show type stuff, which I'm like segueing into. I realized that like it took me a while to become uh, a solid just chatter because there were times when I first started and I'm like, I get kind of anxious. I remember it was like 2018, 2019 when I first started streaming. I would sit there and I would get anxious when I saw the viewer count, and I would get
Oh
anxious
yeah.
when the chat was quiet, and I would just be like, so chat, how are you doing? I'm gonna sip this coffee awkwardly now, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
then I realized, like, if I just let loose and I just speak my mind constantly and just be myself, I think that's okay, and people seem to like that. Like, earlier I sat there and I literally made bars out of a bunch of like ad libs, and people seem to have enjoyed that. It's me going, that's like literally how my brain is working. I'm just like, okay. But like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I kind of like hone it, I'm not afraid to just like spew it out. You know what I mean? It's like fuck it, just let's just go for it.
Yeah, like at least when it comes to me, I am terrible at like keeping a constant like what's it called, like keeping an audience, happy and stuff, which is
Uh,
why when I first started streaming, I did gaming because I didn't know what to do. And like since I wanted to keep myself busy doing something, so I started playing games, so in case if chat was quiet, I could just focus on my game and do that.
Yeah, and I understand because even though I personally feel like I've gotten pretty good at like my style of what I do on my channel, there is of course dead time where I would think those kind of things too, be like, oh shit, am I being like too quiet? But then that thought is just kind of something that of the past that would just pop in, and I'm like, well, I don't really operate that way anymore, and I just got to stick to being myself, right? And then I think it's cool. I mean, everyone's different, of course, but I do think that with experience you will get better, and you'll have a flow. You'll have a flow of the way you speak and staying within the subjects or topics of what you want to talk about, and also just kind of like keeping engagement. And another thing I think is important is that everyone here is part of the fam, and the community. And a part of it is I have a relationship with my community and the fam members. I appreciate all of them very much. So I can always count on them to just hang out with me. It's a I feel comfortable because they're all here with us. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
yeah, like I was just say gang. I literally, and I said this the other day. It was funny because like there will be times where I sit there and like out on the outside, right? It looks like I'm like engaging, but literally all I'm doing, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, gang, oh yeah, gang." I'm not really saying anything, like it doesn't mean anything, but
Yeah.
it keeps the crowd, it keeps like the chat engaged. They're like, "Hey, gang," and I'm like, "Hey," but I'm like, in reality, those words mean nothing. It just means we're like two words stuck together, and it brings us together. You know what I mean? And that's why I think it's kind of like for me, personally, it's important to have those kind of like ad libs or inside jokes with my community because it's what none of them really mean anything. It just brings us together. I mean, like for Christ's sakes, oh yeah, it's literally a sound of someone, enjoying something to a very high level. But we say it to everything.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
at least like the idea of this podcast specifically was because I was listening to a couple of podcasts before. I don't really listen to them now. I occasionally do though, and I saw a YouTuber. His name was Thaf9, and he
Mm-hmm.
does like gaming content and like mystery stuff and conspiracies and stuff like that. But he has a second channel where pretty much what he does is that he takes like he streams every like 3 days, I think, like 3 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
and he takes that like the content from there, cuts it up, and like gets the funniest moments, and then just puts it into a video. And
Uh,
yeah, it's like, so what I decided to do with this at least was take the actual podcast so I could have, this content here on Twitch and then upload it onto YouTube. So then there can also be a like a different separate community there. So then when they see that, this is live, so they can, come here and also ask questions, which also brings more community onto the Twitch side.
Absolutely. That's a very, very great idea. And like I said, it was something that I've been looking into as well,
Yeah.
to kind of segue into YouTube, so I could bring more people into Twitch. And like my goal to do that is just to have a community so we can help each other, so I could be like, hey, today, da da da, like kind of like how what Harry did for me and what we're doing together now. Like I would go on stream first, talk about what I'd be getting into, and then raid you with the people that come in, so this
Yeah.
way we kind of keep the community going and growing and always just make sure we shout each other out. So it would be really dope for us to have a different platform where, like YouTube, for example, I could go on YouTube and literally talk about what we talked about today, which actually I had planned to, was kind of something like about your streaming, like how to light up your background, how to talk on the
Mm.
stream, or like not just how to, what I think people relate to most is your experiences and being able to be open and honest with your experiences. Like it's not just like I can sit here and be like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. People like this and that. It's not true. Everyone's different. But what people can relate to is kind of like the anxiety of getting into stream, or the anxiety of like, am I being good enough on stream if I'm quiet, or like all this other stuff, or am I good enough to stream? Is my content good enough? It's like you gotta let all that out the window and just like keep going and just like try to find what makes you happy, and put that on the table. Not be afraid to put it on the table no matter what. And that's kind of what I think a lot of people can relate to, because it can be discouraging if you don't have any viewers sometimes, and I've been there, and I'm sure you've been there as well.
Yeah.
But and you kept going and I kept going, and we met each other, and now we're here hanging out and talking about these things that we've been through and how we can move forward, so that when we do run into other community members who are starting and want to do things and need help, we can use our platform to bring everyone together and just kind of know that like this is our community. This is how the people that we want to surround ourselves with are, because like we could easily raid, I don't know, like Pokimane, or whatever her name, Pokimane, right?
Yeah.
But like she don't need it. She don't need it. And
Yeah. She
plus
has like
also,
20K.
right, and not just the fact that she's popular, but community is vibes. It's all about the vibe of the community, and people in our community, we all very much so support each other. We listen to each other, and we're very authentic in the way that we communicate. Even within chat, people are always talking to each other, coming back to support, getting to know each other, and like we've become this giant tree of just like people that support each other. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what we want to cultivate the most, I think, by creating different platforms and bringing more people in.
So pretty much, right, what you want to do is something like similar to what Harris Heller is doing, where it's kind of like he streams, but he also does YouTube, and he also has, a music platform now, which is Stream Beats. So he, like, pretty much what he does is that he makes his videos, which is where most of his community is from his YouTube channel, but then he also has his streaming community, where he literally just like sits there and talks for hours about the videos that he does and like
Yeah,
questions that people have of each video, and then
yeah,
the
yeah,
music thing and stuff.
yeah. And I think Harris Heller and I have a similar background, because he has worked with film industry and like media arts and things like that before too. And these are very like key information for people. Lighting, uh camera setups, things like that. And it's great that Harris is doing that as well. And I actually stopped watching Harris a long time ago. But he influenced me as well. And the reason I stopped watching was because like we all have our own ways of conveying information and presenting information. And it's just good to have, I don't want to say like I'm gonna do what he does, because it's not necessarily the goal, but it
Yeah.
is very similar. Um, because the way I'm gonna present what I have to say is definitely gonna come from a different perspective, and hopefully the way I present things can reach out to somebody who sees more eye to eye with me as well, and can learn something from everybody. Can learn something from Harris Heller for sure, because he is literally your stream doctor, as he
Yeah.
says, right? And we've all learned from him. Just for me, I want to come from a standpoint where I'm like, I'm not necessarily a pro, you know, but I'm not necessarily, I'm somebody who's just learning how to do these things, and I want to learn with people, you know, showing them the side of streaming or videography or just being a human being in general, that like we're just kind of here to learn stuff together, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing how to do something or wanting to do something a little better, you know what I mean? And yeah, like in a way, I feel like if you come off too professionally, the information doesn't get digested or travel properly, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
So
confused
you,
sometimes
yeah,
when
yeah,
Harris
go.
talks. So, oh no, no, I'm just saying like Harris is super professional. So
Oh
even when
yeah.
he talks, sometimes I'm like, the hell are you talking about? Like I don't get it. You know, like I get it, but I don't get it because it's so like I want to be more practical. Like you know, kind of like oh this is how you could be dope for you know, but I'm a dum dum, so you guys are probably smarter than me, so you can probably do it better than I can. Really.
So first off, like, uh, what was I gonna say? I'm an idiot. So if you ever need help with an audio video, I'm right here, bro. I know all my stuff, more or less. Um,
Yes.
but like, I wish I could like have something that you could do, like, that you're really good at videography, you're good at like all your stuff, but like compared to me, I don't know if like you've actually been to school or learned how to do that yourself, but compared to me, like I've tried to learn everything like by myself, just like watching YouTube, looking at tutorials, looking at this, looking at that. And like personally, I've never had a teacher, especially when it comes to things like taking photos or learning audio or things like that. Like even though the this entire design thing, it was just me trying to learn how to do things, since at
True.
least from the school that I'm in, my school is mainly about cybersecurity and stuff like that. And so it's not like I joined it because when I was younger I loved technology and I still do, but like at least now it's not like it just isn't the way that I want to actually go down that path. Like, yeah, it could be useful having all those cybersecurity things, and I also have the opportunity to go to college for free, which I already applied to. But compared to like what I want to do now, it really isn't that interesting to me
Yeah,
anymore.
absolutely. I get you. I totally get you. And to follow up on that whole thing that you just said, I want to start off by saying I never went to school for this stuff. I learned everything on YouTube, and then I went into the field. I threw myself out there, and I just learned by making a shit ton of mistakes. And then as you make mistakes, you realize that like you'll find people that kind of do it too, and you'll just talk to them and you'll get their perspective. And then like to me, this is the most authentic way to develop truly your own style. Because like you literally come from nothing. You come from nothing but passion and a
Yeah.
vision. And then you try to make it a real thing, right? And you just keep fucking up until you start to get closer to what you want to do rather than being taught by somebody who has, which I'm not saying is not important, because
Yeah.
I do believe that as you go you will find your teacher. And that is something that I think is said and done, for example, in every single comic book or manga or movie, where it's like this guy does something, he gets into something, he gets goes on this journey, and all of a sudden this person comes in and shows him all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but as for you, I didn't go to school for any of this stuff either. When I went to school, I didn't even do good in school. And when I did go to school for a job kind of related thing, I went to school to become a kindergarten teacher. So everything I learned was all about, uh, child psychology, child care, all this stuff like how to teach,
Hmm.
communication, psychology, and all this crap. And mainly, not crap, it was very useful and it's still very useful. But it had nothing like I worked for such a long time as a teacher, and like I was like, dude, this shit will do me nothing in the field that I really, really want to work in. It has nothing to do with anything media related at all. It's not like I'm gonna, go on set and be like, all right, I'll take care of your kids. Like, like, you know, like so I hear you there, and like it's cool that you're thinking about that stuff now because you're in a really good space. You're still a teenager, and you're very driven, and you have a lot of great outlooks on things, and like you're thinking about these things at an early age, and you're so wise about approaching it because yeah, you're going to school about cybersecurity, and probably one day when you build your own business or get into the field, it's definitely going to come in handy because you do work with technology and
Yeah.
electronics. which will require you to, brand yourself on the internet, which will require cybersecurity if you ever want to do any transactions or just having your work from being stolen or whatnot. So I feel like that's closer to me than closer to what I went to school for than, than you. At least you could use your skill for, any one of us that probably will need your help in the future, to be completely honest with you, man.
Yeah, like at least for me right now at the moment, cybersecurity has been completely useless because the teacher that I have currently, like he's a good teacher and everything, but so like I already said that I search up a lot of things daily. So I'm always constantly learning about other things. And so far all the information, or at least like 95% of the information that my teacher has given me, I already knew for years already. Like he was talking about like, different types of access controls and stuff like that, and I already knew all of that. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like, all right, that's nice. You just gave me a review, but okay.
Like, hey, at least you passed the class easily. Like, you already know that, like, you don't have to, if you have a test or something, you're just like, man, I can do this shit no problem. Like, I remember, so when I first started using cameras, I tried photography first.
Hmm.
Um, and I took a lot of pictures, bro. And then I started to learn like the basics, like the because I wanted to achieve a certain effect. That's why I had to go learn the settings and see how that works. Where it's like you have a goal for some kind of aesthetic that expresses your passion, and then you don't really know how to do it. So then you go research for it. So I learned everything on YouTube as well myself, and then just talking to people after failing, like, I wouldn't say failing. It just wasn't, it's a learning process, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even with that, it's like then I bought a course later. I was like, oh, there's a sale on Udemy for $9 a class. Why not? And I bought it and it literally just told me the same shit that I already learned. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't say I wasted $9, but that could have went to a meal, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's kind of the same thing. And that was probably the closest thing I've done to school in terms of like learning how to do video stuff. And like, of course you're really good at audio stuff as well because you're the one that taught me how to do the voice meter thing, which is why I sound so crispy right now. So shout out to you for that.
Yeah, like at least I work in a completely different manner when it comes to like learning. For me, it's especially when I first started, even though it was really recent, doing photography as well. What I do is that instead of, getting the camera, testing things out, and then, learning from my mistakes, what I do is usually that I do my research. I look at each camera, especially, like Canon, Sony, Lumix,
Mm,
Panasonic, all those types of cameras. Check which one is best for each different situation. Then look at each lenses, which one is best as well. Like if it's for outdoor, if it's indoor, if it's B roll, A roll, different types of things like that. And
yes,
then
sir.
after that, check which ones has the best settings and best for especially beginners right now, since I'm barely beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
et cetera, et cetera. It's just like, especially when I was messing around with like phones and stuff when I was younger, like I always searched up, best phones in the market, cheapest phones in the market, best mid-rangers, checking which ones
Mm-hmm.
have the best processors, most amount of RAM space, screen storage, resolution, et cetera, et cetera. And then, using that information that I have to make either inferences based off of one phone or another, checking the actual specs for each phone, and et cetera, et cetera. Which is why I've had like, especially when I go to phone stores or even a Microsoft store, which happened already once. There's a lot of like adults that even come up to me and they're like, "Hey, you really know a lot about this, more than me, even though I'm working in this specific thing." And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then, like, especially, I think it was last year, I went to a Microsoft store with one of my friends because they were having like some esports event. So they were letting us go into the actual esports room and test out monitors and stuff, which is really cool. But I stayed most of my time just looking at computers and the different laptops and stuff. and I was talking to like one of the people that worked there, and they were like, "You're really good at this," and I was like, "Yeah, I know. Like it's strange, like especially for my age. I don't want to flex, but and then she even gave me her card and was like, "Hey, if one time you want to actually apply for this store, you can." And I was like, I was really grateful for that. Sadly, I lost the card, but
Oh,
it was really good though, because I already know the store and I remember how she looks like and stuff, so I could just apply if I wanted to online.
oh yeah, definitely. Like I think like, and here goes another topic of that is interesting as well, and wish I knew when I was a teenager, is that like the being yourself in front of people like kind of goes back to like you are your branding, right? So like by you just kind of going out there and just doing your thing, people saw that in you and they're like, oh, we're interested in that person because that person knows what he's talking about. And plus it's also the more than the information you knew, it was probably likely the way you carried yourself, which is ultimately like the product of who you are.
Oh
And
yeah.
people want to invest in that. It's not so much like you have to be a good package. You could know a bunch of stuff, but then be a complete irresponsible, you know, idiot with no manners, or you could be someone with amazing manners and responsible, but absolutely have no information about anything, and it would be off balance. So it's all about being balanced and going out there and letting the opportunity seek you. And I think that's one really cool thing about you is like all these things at a very young age. You go out there and you're just kind of doing your thing, and even people come up to you and they're like, "Dude, I want you to work here, or I want to work with you." And even for me, right? Like I'm literally twice your age, but I talk to you as if you're my age. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I want to work with you, right? Because like just the way, and I'm sure anyone in chat here can see it too, where just the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, and you sound grown, and that's something that people want to invest in. Like, of course, I want to invest in that. I think you're amazing, and also like even you showing up to support Harry in person. That's like that shows character. You know what I mean? That shows your values, and that's something that you have that people would want to they just want to work with. So just letting you know that you ever need a co-host, and I'm free, man. I'm out here. We out here, gang, gang.
Hey, bro. If I was living in California as well, I would have offered myself to work for you already so long ago. I already have my working papers for like a couple years already, so I can already work. Like especially like in actual jobs, I can already do that. Um, but yeah, like in terms of like how I treat myself or how I feel about myself, like it, it's so hard to explain because sometimes, right, I feel like, yeah, I know a lot and stuff like that, but since I come from a very strict household and like my dad was from like the military and he knows a lot as well himself. So like especially being around a lot of my family members, which I'm constantly helping, especially when it comes to a lot of technology issues. um and like sometimes it makes me feel like, yeah, man, like I know so much and like I want to do this, I want to do that. And but then like other times it's just like, do I really know anything, or is it just like basic information that like anybody could just search up on the internet and then just be like, oh yeah, that's how that works. Alt F4 or reset, I don't know, and then it just like fix the issue. And so like I'm constantly in like, oh yeah, I know a lot, like I could even get a job doing this. And then another times I'm just like, I'm not even like a professional in this, like in this specific section in like technology, or I don't even have like, I'm not even graduated from college yet, I mean like from high school. Like it's just so weird because like,
I think
yeah.
it's like what you just said there is actually an awesome mindset, which took me personally a really long time to understand what you just said. I don't think I understood what you just said there until I was in my 20s, dude. Because like maybe our early 20s, because the whole idea of what you just said is kind of how someone would express what being humble is. Being humble is like, okay, well, I know what I like, I know what I do, I like what I do, and I think I'm good at what I do. I believe that I'm good at what I do, but I also don't really know anything because, like, so what? Like, there's so much more to learn, and that the things I know, someone else might also know. But at the same time, like we kind of just conclude the fact that it's just what I like and I know what I know and that's cool and I'm open to learn more. So what you're describing is like you're just a humble person, you know? And
Like,
I think and, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no. You first.
Oh, and I was just saying like honestly, like that's just your perspective, right? Because and I'll give you an example. I have a nice computer, but honestly, I didn't build it at all. I called my friend to help me do it. And to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, you should stick this. This is the motherboard. It goes right here. This is the video card. It goes
Oh
right here."
yeah.
And all I heard was beep boop boop beep motherboard boop. I don't know what the hell you're saying. Like, but to him, it's just like A B C D. But to me, it was like an alien language, dude. And like, I remember this one time, my computer was like, it needed to be overclocked. I'm sure you know what
Oh
overclocking
yeah,
is,
I know what it is. Yeah.
right? I have no fucking clue what overclocking is. Right? So I had to call him and he was like, restart your computer, press F11. And I'm like, F what? There's only one F on the keyboard, bro. And that's the one next to G and D. And he goes, no, the F11 on the top of your keyboard. I was like, what? I was like, oh, the number. Like, yeah, then you go into your system preferences. And I was like, you mean in the Windows? He goes, no, in your motherboard. I'm like, you mean in the computer? And he's like, no. It's a different setting. And like, to him, that's just kind of like, all you have to do is access the motherboard and change it to overclock. But for
Yeah.
me, I felt like I was talking to an alien. I had no fucking clue what any of that shit was. And that's just for perspective, you know? So you think that what you
Yeah.
know is simple and easy. And to be fair, in your field, it probably is. But to someone else, you know what you're talking about. They have no clue. It's like when someone asks me, Ryan, what is the ISO on your camera, right? And what is the ISO for? For me, I'm like, oh, dude, you know, ISO is like how you open up the lens or you open up your shutter and you let the light in and it makes your image crisper and shit. And they would
Yeah.
just be like, what are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean, Kobe Bryant? Like, what are you saying? And
But
like,
yeah.
yeah, so that's just perspective, right?
Yeah. Like fun fact, you made a mistake. It's not ISO, it's aperture. And
Oh, see, there you go.
like at least like when it comes to me, like I just man, like it, especially since you said that like it comes like it's like me being humble, like I I guess I understand, but at the same time I don't because like yeah, sure, I get support and stuff, but at the same time, like I'm not doing anything special. Like
Hmm.
especially when it comes to this podcast, I'm doing is just talking for about an hour or less and then just like trying to shoot like off a wall and hope that things go well for the episode. Or like if I'm helping out someone, like hopefully that I'm able to fix the PC or reset the laptop correctly if it's stuck with a password and they don't know it, or
Hmm.
and things like that. It's just like I think it would be easier to understand if I like had a real job, because and at least in New York they have a program called Summer Youth Employment Program, which it's pretty much like, yeah, you go to school and you get paid during the summer. So that was really good, especially this summer that passed. I met a guy that works there, and he does like a YouTube channel called the Entrepreneur Hour, and he didn't know anything about Twitch, but he live streams, and I was like, how do you not know about Twitch but you live
Right.
stream? Yeah. And then he was like, what's Twitch? I'm like, Twitch is a live streaming platform. It's one of the biggest ones out there. And then he invited me onto his Entrepreneur Hour, which is literally just a podcast. It's just different. It's just a different name. And I was just talking to him about how Twitch works, and what bits, what subs, how to stream and stuff like that on Twitch works. And now he's been streaming on Twitch every like week or so, if I'm correct.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because his channel and like what he does is trying to get people that are like experienced, or that have like a spark, and embrace it and put it into something. So like every time that he would post, it would be something related to like Bitcoin, or how doing drawings or something can, get you into Disney, or how to create a shop online without wasting a single dollar and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
like, it's really good what he does, right? But like, in my opinion, he just like rambles on a lot, which is, it's fine because, he's not great at like what he's doing. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it's just I understand why it's harder for him, because especially now that I'm starting up my own podcast, he does things solo.
Yeah.
So just like me, it takes forever to like, get one detail in, because you're always like, or rambling on about the same thing for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, yeah. I totally get that. I think one of the things that could help, right? And I'm still working on this myself, as you could tell. Lately, I've been kind of have my morning. I call it the morning coffee, the just
Yeah,
chatting morning coffee, and like I would try to think of kind of like a topic and a key point, like a PowerPoint to come on and kind of just first kind of show the PowerPoint and then discuss each part of the subject and then go into like my personal experiences and like in that way we can have many different perspectives on one thing and then you can kind of keep that flow going and also just being able to have content to fall back on or revisit, and for me too it's like not it's I'm still learning how to get better at it, but there's also I guess this sense of confidence that I've developed in or not well I mean comfortability, you know what I mean, like I wouldn't say so much confidence because like I'm just being me, you know what I mean? So I don't
yeah,
really have too many doubts about the things that I decide to do. Since hence I decided to do it. So I wouldn't have done it if it was you know what I mean? It was
yeah,
something that I wasn't sure of. So it's like a whole sense of developing how I want to communicate with my audience and how to keep my personal flow going and making it interesting. Because if you don't have PowerPoints, it can seem like a long ramble. You could go on about one thing forever and then start to make a loop and then end up saying the same thing but construct it differently rather than making a different point. So I think the engagement comes from constantly making points and they're kind of like checkpoints during your podcast. That way the audience can also kind of register it and tune in or kept they keep engaged, as well.
yeah. Because like, when I first started this, I didn't have anything to go off of. It was just like, especially the first two episodes, I had nothing. And then like the third episode, I created a couple of notes,
Mm-hmm.
which was a Twitch one, which is why it sounded more, informational and stuff. And now, like, sadly, I couldn't stream last week because of the whole Twitch issue thing. So I didn't have anything to actually, stream or talk about, which, it was like really dumb of me to do. So this week, I decided to created an entire script for the next week, because
Nice.
yeah, I created a script about, it's something a little bit more mature, but it's pretty much about Club Penguin, and it sounds like a kids game because it is, and whoever knows what Club Penguin is, it was a really good game, but after 2017 it closed, and people were really sad about it, but they didn't know about something called private servers, where,
Ah, okay.
yeah, those servers could still be running even though the official game was closed. The private servers could still be running, and then there was a Club Penguin server called Club Penguin Online, and let's just say it's really messed up what the owner of that private server did, especially to minors. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
oh.
it's really dark. It's a really dark, in my
Well,
opinion.
guys, you heard it. If you want to know what happened with the dark minor club penguins,
Yeah, it's
tune
pretty
in next
funny,
week.
but at the same time, it's kind of fucked up. Not gonna lie.
Good to know. So I'm gonna have to tune in. We can't give any more spoilers.
Yeah.
This way we can bring people back into. I'm curious. I'll be here. I want to know because you know, man, that's just some. You already got me. You already got me hooked.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the way too. Like just to do you see just the way you talked about it, right? It's like interesting information that people want to know. There's actually a YouTube channel that I actually quite a few YouTube channels that I follow that you might be interested in. And one of them is called What Happened or What Happened. And they talk about a lot of games that failed and they go so
Hmm.
deep into the detail about the companies, the contracts, the designers, developers, the game itself, how they did. Um, you should definitely check that out. And also, there's another one called what's it good? Food theorist or like game theorist.
Oh,
Game
game
theorist.
theory.
Yeah,
Game
yeah,
theory.
love it. Or like, did you
Yeah.
know gaming and things like that. I
Yeah,
really
I,
like
I
watching
watched
those.
them. I watch game theory, film theory, food theory, all of them pretty much.
Oh, I love that series so much, dude.
Yeah.
If, and in the chat, if you guys want to check that out, it's just this one guy. He does theories on all this stuff. I recently watched him do this theory on how Chuck E. Cheese's pizza is like used pizza.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It's really good.
Yeah, dude, I love his videos. I saw the one where actually I watched pretty much all of them now that I think about it. So if you guys are into that, check that out. Very interesting stuff. If you like
Yeah.
food, you like movies, you like games, and I think that's the kind of stuff that like you enjoy watching because it reflects like the way you look at stuff. You're a very detailed person. You go into things very like thoroughly, and that's why when I listened to you talk about Twitch, I was like, dude, I had no idea about any of this stuff with Twitch. When I discovered Twitch, it was just already a streaming platform for games, and it was like, what year did you say Twitch became Twitch again?
If I'm correct, it was like around 2007, something like that.
2007. And then it blew up more so later in the 2010s. Is that what you said?
Yes, because it got
Yeah.
it got it was bought by Amazon, which is how they added bits and subs to Twitch.
Right, and that's kind of like it's still kind of a baby. It's less than a decade old. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
technically it is a decade old now since we're in 2021. Oh my God, future. Yeah, but just even things like that, and like just seeing the growth of Twitch itself, just even within the past year, I had a friend who started streaming before I did, who actually got me more familiar with Twitch. His name is ADJ, and he's a
Mm.
real friend of mine in real life. He comes over to my house, we eat together, we hang out. I've known him since high school. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's the one that kind of made me more familiar with Twitch because he was very passionate about streaming, and he would come over and tell me all the time about like he would have days where he'd be going through stuff, but he would go on Twitch and he'd watch his favorite streamers and he would feel motivated to just continue his day with a better perspective. So he wanted to do the same for the people that came in to watch him. So he started streaming. And
Mm.
then some people asked me like, why don't you start streaming too? Because well, it was actually on separate occasions. But like they asked me, why don't you start streaming on Twitch? And I was like, huh, like that's the thing that my friend ADJ does, right? Like I was really unfamiliar with it. And then he lives with another roommate who also streams too. And he helped me build my computer to get me into streaming. And then from what I remember, even though that was only a year ago, Twitch was totally different, dude.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, that was in 2018 when we all started streaming. I don't know if ADJ started like earlier than 2018, but I started in 2018, and the platform was completely different. And it's really hard to like. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy to imagine that that was only technically, I guess, technically 4 years ago, but really it was like more like three.
Yeah.
And just seeing how much the platform changed during COVID itself was insane, dude. It became everyone is just blowing up on Twitch out of nowhere because I guess everyone's at home all the time,
Yeah.
and they just don't know what to do and they started going on Twitch, and next thing you know, Twitch became a thing. Now it's like a normal thing. Like you don't want to watch a show on Netflix or you don't want to watch a show on Hulu. Let's just go on Twitch and watch someone that we enjoy hanging out with, and get some interaction. And I remember Twitch was very video game based, of course,
Yeah.
but now there's more just chatters than gamers, damn near. I don't know if that's necessarily true statistically, but that's what
Oh
it
no, that is
feels
true.
like.
Statistically,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that's
okay,
true.
cool. I did not know that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess y'all heard it. Like, yeah, and that wasn't thing because back then, like, just chatters were very specific types of people with very specific types of fan bases. Back then, people
Mm-hmm.
came to watch like shooters and Ninja and Shroud and Pokimane and all these other Lily Pichu or whatever her name is, right? Like,
Yeah.
I only know these people because they show up in ads on my Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But like now it's like for example, I see people that just started Twitch like literally a week ago, and they have a following from whatever they already do, and they hit partnership in a
Yeah.
week, and
It's
it's like
crazy.
crazy, dude. Crazy. Like when I started, and when my friend ADJ started too. It took it took him. I think maybe over a month to get affiliate, and it took me like a month as well to get affiliate. And partially because I tried to get affiliate. I would hit up my friends and be like, "Hey, come check it out. I started doing this thing on Twitch." I don't think ADJ advertised as much as I did when he started, so it took him a little longer to get affiliate. But I remember it took me like a month, right, or so, even maybe longer. Can't remember, and it was tough because it was a different platform. Now, I swear to God, you log on for like 2 days, you get affiliate, and it's like, whoa, what the hell? We're in a different world. And some people, partnership used to be like super, super hard to get, dude. Like
Yeah.
really hard to get. But now I see a bunch of like people that just come on and do just chatting, and to be fair, a lot of the times they're uh women who are I guess they're like models or whatever they are. They already
Yeah.
come from a different platform. They have like Instagram with like 10,000 followers on Instagram, and they
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like port themselves over to Twitch, and then they're partners in like 3 days, dude. And that's like the craziest shit I have ever seen in my life, considering some people have been streaming since the beginning of Twitch and just got partnership after almost 10 years of streaming.
Oh yeah. Fun
Yeah,
fact, I actually don't even have affiliate.
you should now, dude. You guys
I
should start now.
hopefully, but
Yeah,
it's
you do
cuz
now.
like affiliate the way that affiliate works, you need to have 50 followers, which I already have, but you need to have a consistent like community being here
Mhm,
every day. You need to have 3 constant viewers, and you're supposed to be streaming for like around 8 hours in a month, which isn't a lot in my opinion, but since usually this thing like the podcast at least only goes around for about an hour,
mhm.
so if I stream every Saturday, then it's just 4 hours only. So
Yeah,
I it means that I'll probably never get affiliate, but I don't really care about that. I just care
you.
about getting
Hey, I know.
content out.
I totally feel you on that. And like I said earlier, it's like I just come on a Twitch to hang out with people and just do what I do because I like being, as you could tell, I wouldn't be this vocal if I didn't like being this way. So I just kind of come on
Yeah.
to be me and hang out with people. But it happens to have all these features on Twitch that tie in with donations, blah 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 blah. Some
Hmm?
people are like they hunt for followers. You can see it in their description name. It's like
Hey bro,
far from
follow
followers,
me.
follow me. Like
Yeah.
we out here getting goal for 1,000 followers, 24-hour stream,
Yeah.
get 1,000 followers or sub goal, sub gang, and all that stuff.
I
Right?
don't have
It's like
anything like that.
yeah, no, dude, that's not why we stream personally. Like
Yeah.
I mentioned before, we're here for the community and like we're here to just kind of spread good vibes and build a community, versus
Mm-hmm.
like trying to out here Twitch banging, you know what I mean? But yeah, yeah, yeah. But just saying in that it's nice to have affiliate because when someone truly wants to support you, they can simply just subscribe.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way. You know what I mean? Like they might not know it, but their $5, Twitch gets half of it, of course. But like it goes a long way. You could have used that $5 to do whatever you wanted in your life, but instead you decided to come drop it on us and support us. And that's, very, very noble and respectful of them and very much appreciate on our end. But speaking of you being affiliate, right? Like
Yeah.
you have the follower count already for sure. You definitely have the consistent viewer, I think, or if you don't, you definitely will get it because now your following is bigger.
It is
Um,
bigger, yeah.
it is bigger, yeah, and just the streaming thing, dude. Like you just, you'll hit 8 hours eventually, like regardless. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's you're already on your way there, and I think it would be nice for you to have this way when someone does like what you do and want to support what you do, it's a click away.
You know who Amanda Cerny is?
I'm not sure. That's a
All
good
right.
question.
Well, like she's kind of like an example about how not to do Twitch. So
Interesting.
pretty
Okay.
much, right? She's like a really big model and stuff like that. Who you remember who King Batch is during the
Yeah,
Vine
I do.
ages? Yeah,
Yep.
that there was usually another girl there called Amanda Cerny, and she's a model now. So she pretty much got on Twitch during quarantine,
Hmm.
and literally what she did was ask people that were on the stream for money,
Oh
and like
no.
she literally said, if by the time that like I think it was like by a month, if she didn't get like 500 subs and then like 1,000 followers or something like that, she was not gonna do Twitch, and it kind of blew up because who does that?
Yeah, yeah. I just searched her up on Instagram right now. She has 25.2 million followers, guys, on
Yeah,
Instagram.
it's
That is a
crazy.
lot. And she has an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Of course. That's probably where she it's probably what she turned to afterward. I think it's just easier that way for uh, you know, that kind of aesthetic person, you know what I mean? Like, let's just say that.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't catch me on OnlyFans. I highly doubt anyone would be like, "Oh, we gotta go sub to Pandroid on OnlyFans." I'm sure like Soul Park has a better chance of having OnlyFans. He definitely has a better chance than I do on
Oh
OnlyFans.
no.
Just saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's she probably was like, "Oh, Twitch isn't working out." I know what will. OnlyFans,
Only
$10 a sub, dude. It's $10 a sub. You get 100 people. You just made $1,000. Like,
you should, yo,
what?
you saw what one model, not even a model, that was like an actor. She was like a really popular actor, and
Mm-hmm.
she got on OnlyFans, and she
Oh
sent
boy.
like she sent an automated message to all of the people on her OnlyFans, like, cause it's only like max, I think it's like $30 that you can do, like,
Uh huh.
for the subscription. She asked everybody that was following her on OnlyFans for $100 for just one picture, and
Wow.
OnlyFans like saw what happened about it, and they limited like even axing that at the in the first place, and I'm pretty sure they kicked her out of the actual
I mean,
platform.
dude, people were out to, they're out for the come up.
Yeah,
They think that if they can bend the rules, they're gonna bend it. So they go ahead and they try it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And for the most part, that's we should be grateful for them because that's what helps us create better rules for these platforms. But then
Yeah.
people would be always doing it. They would just be out like, you know, trying to be on the come up.
All right, well, we have passed the hour mark. I don't know
Hmm.
if you want to continue talking or if you just want to talk about a completely different subject now, because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
have my couple notes here.
Sure,
um
sure, sure.
oh, all
Um,
right
let's
then.
let's go. Let's run through the notes. We can cap it out. Let's see how far we get at hour and a half mark. And if there's still more things in your notes, we'll push it to hour 45, and we'll just go from there. We'll go by every. Let's
All
try it.
right,
Let's go for
well,
it.
so I just have
Thank you, V, by the way. You're
yeah,
studying hard.
Pandroid OnlyFans page.
Android, oh no, it got censored on your page, so I didn't know what you said.
uh uh let's see, it says here, okay, so I just have like four questions at this point.
Let's
So
do it.
one of the things is, what is your ultimate goal in
Ooh,
life?
ultimate goal in life. That
So
is
like,
a
yeah, so like if you have one thing that you want to do before like you die, like let's say for example, right, either now, or let's say for example you're on your deathbed, and like I don't know, death comes up to you and says, what is the last thing you would want to do, or what is the last thing you want to achieve before you die? What would it be?
well. That is wow. Jesus, that's a hell of a question, bro. Like, I will give you just the answer I have right now. The first answer that comes to mind is that, my current goal is to build a I am exclusive learning center, where it's
Hmm.
like for artists and things like that.
Oh
But
yeah.
just to know that, like, if I was dying, which I would assume is somewhere past 80 or at least 90,
Hopefully,
and
yes.
healthy, I might still be kicking at 100, you know what I mean? But goal would be to know that, like, I've cultivated a place for people to be and that they're happy and that it's running well and that the people that I love are happy. So my ultimate goal is to have a place for people to be happy, you know?
Yeah.
Just yeah, and that's really it. I just want people to have a place to be themselves or to express themselves or learn how to be themselves and know that it's okay to go through things and work through things and that people are there for each other and just like my ultimate goal is to have that building so people can go there and use that building or buildings plural as a
Hmm?
place to come and feel accepted and comfortable and that they can work on themselves. Yeah. So, okay, I guess in a nutshell, cultivated a wonderful space for people.
Mr.
You know,
Beast 2.0. Yeah.
Mr.
Cause like yeah, Mr. Beast is now doing his entire Beast Burger thing, which is like over 100 chains around the U.S. It's like pretty much
Oh,
McDonald's now.
what? I had no. So I don't really know Mr. Beast like that. I just know that he like the only reason I know Mr. Beast is because he like signed T-shirts for a day, where like an
Oh
exclusive
yeah,
T-shirt,
I saw
and
that.
then he sold like 60,000 T-shirts or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which means he had to sign 6,000 T-shirts. Jesus.
Yeah, like what pretty much what Mr. Beast did is like I don't know how he did it, but pretty much he was like, "Hey, bro, I opened up the world's first free restaurant," and I was like, "Okay, let me click on the video." He did release one free restaurant, which was like around his area,
Mm-hmm.
but to the rest of the world, he created Mr. Beast Burgers, which
Oh,
is
see,
it pretty much is like about 100 or 150 stores around the entire United States, and you could just order burgers from him or fries or whatever. And like at least from what I know, I like there is one around New York, but they don't deliver to my area, so I haven't been able to try it out. Supposedly, it's really good. I don't know if it is, but if there's one around your area, you could just check it out.
yeah,
And
yeah. There's dude, there's one at Universal City. That's cool. There's one an hour. There's two locations are an hour away
mm,
from me each. And now that you mention it, I think I'm gonna go check it out. Oh, this is adorable.
yeah,
Honestly, menu. I'm like, oh wow, this place looks what? This looks hella good, dude.
yeah.
Go there right now. Shit.
Their menu is like just based off of what every single like one of their people, like Carl and stuff like that, and Mr. Beast. It's like pretty much their own menu. Each
Dude,
different option is like what they would eat as well.
this looks so good. It looks and it's a minimalist menu. That's what's dope.
Yeah, it's really
Oh,
good.
Carl style, Chandler style. Wow, I like it. I like it a lot. I might have to go grab some, like on the real.
Yeah. Let's see, what other questions do I have here. What is your goal for 2021 actually? Since we just
Ooh.
started.
First of all, V, thank you for tuning in from Finland. I appreciate you being here, supporting me and Proto. Have a wonderful night,
Have a good
morning.
night.
And so my goal for 2021, right, is kind of just to expand, not expand, but establish my brand and company, like solidify it to the point where we have a following, we have regular clients, we have a set of services provided, we have a website where you can see clearly what we stand for, what we do, and who we are, and just to be established, like
Yeah.
take the time to cultivate myself and my brand, and just be someone that I can, ultimately continue to respect more every day when I look in the mirror, and working towards just like a better life, just a better lifestyle, whether it's dancing or streaming or my health or my craft, which is, video or brand building, and
Mm-hmm.
just overall having a better relationship with myself. This way I can have better relationships with the people around me. And by the end of 2021, which would be the beginning of 2022, I want to just know that I spent the whole year doing the best I can, while being human and going through human things, that to push, and know that I did my best this year to create a foundation and a base establishment for the brand, so that from here
Mm.
on we keep going, have a foundation, build a good foundation for my life, my friends, my family, and my brand is 2021 for me.
All right. Well, fun fact about that. The reason why I asked you for your logo was
Mm,
because like I was testing out like this thing, like this application where you can make an app, right?
mhm.
So I was kind of like since I was like I'm trying I want to help out as well. I was
Cool.
actually trying to design my own app from scratch and give it like send it to you and see if you like it or not. But I'm terrible at it, so
Oh my god, dude! Dude, just hearing that already is like, oh, welcome, Christina. How are you, 2D dudes? But sorry, I was saying, Proto. Dude, just you saying that, first of all, I'm like smiling like crazy right now because it's like, dude, I can't believe someone would like go out of their way and attempt something like that for me and support me in that way. Two, it's like, how the hell do you even make an app? Like, dude, I barely know how to install an app. Like, you're crazy.
Yeah, like I used an app, at least on the iOS store, called I think it's called Pineapple or something like that. And you can pretty much design your own screens for each different section of the app that you want. And like I was trying to design it, but I like, in my opinion, I don't know what style specifically what you're going for, if it's like a really minimal design or if it's like a fully colorful design and stuff like that. So I was just like, do I wait? Do I do it? Do I just do something, make like a draft and send it, or like I didn't know.
Dude, that's so awesome, Proto. Like, first of all, thank you for like keeping me that much in mind. Like, God, man, I appreciate you so much. And also, I'm actually minimalist for the most part.
Mhm.
And like kind of like my logo, which I'm like working on to change. I just wanted to be minimal. I wanted to stand out. I want things to be easily digestible and also uh what was the word? Practical, practical
Hmm.
for people. The whole point of doing things good is to be able to present your artist or your craft or whatever you like to do it is, and kind of meeting the middle ground of showing your skills, showing your talent, and the depth of your art, and then bring it, the mastery of it is bringing it into practicality and making sure that it's understandable by the general mass as well. Because if you're too out there, right, it might be on some super crazy deep artistic shit, but if no one understands it, right, it's a different message. But our
Yeah.
message is more to build community, so we do want to reach that line of practicality. But yeah, minimal would be the way. And that, like, honestly, anything you done, bro, I would have probably been like super happy with. I would have just been like, I can't fucking believe this. What the hell?
Hey, I'll then after I have the time and after we finish this stream, then I'll also work on some logos and send it over to you and see if you like them.
So I didn't know you did logos. If you could, we could talk even more about it. Oh, excuse me, but I had something in mind already, and I didn't know who could make it. So if you want to talk about that,
Yeah, sure.
that would be super super awesome. And you can give me your opinion and expertise as well.
Expertise.
Expertise.
Yeah, like I'm not really that great at logos. As you can see by my logo, I made it myself, but
Yeah.
yeah, like it's just like as I said earlier, like I like to like dip my hands into everything that I can and like at least be decent at it. Not like know about it and then like never use it in my life, but like be at least decent at actually doing that specific type of craft,
Yeah,
so I can
absolutely.
actually work in different places without needing to relearn one thing or relearn another.
Yeah, you want to be versatile and well-rounded in terms of like your interests, which is broad. When it comes to technology or tech or whatever, it's broad because it does involve like things like design and internet and like gear and all this other stuff. And
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea because there's a saying that to impress somebody that doesn't know what you know, it only takes about 20% of the knowledge of what, something you might really need to know how to do is. So, for example, you might take a really good picture, right? But to
Mhm.
someone that doesn't know anything about photography, you could have taken $1 million photo, but to a photographer 10 years, he might be like, you could have exposed this a little better, or you should have,
Yeah.
manually focused, or whatever the technical term is. But to
Hmm.
someone that doesn't know, 20% of something is already super impressive. For example, I don't know anything about logo designing at all, right?
Yeah.
And I look at your logo and I'm thinking, that's sick. Like this whole setup is sick. Like it's minimal. If you look at my screen, my second monitor, it's literally just my logo and a black screen, a white logo and a black screen. So damn near it
Mm.
looks exactly it matches your interface at the
Yeah,
moment.
like the aesthetic.
Very
Yeah.
like clean, very straightforward. It's a fucking box. It's a logo and a word. Like
Yeah.
I don't want anything crazy. Like some people love like, oh, here's a bear eating a fucking tree.
Oh yeah.
With,
I don't
like I'm not so much
understand
about that.
that. Yeah, like some logos like that, especially like gaming logos. Oh my lord. I
Yeah,
like it makes me cringe every time I see something like that
yeah,
because
dude.
it's just like why you can make something so clean, something that doesn't need to waste so much space.
Yeah, dude. I think what it is they look at things like football teams and basketball teams, and then
Yeah.
they try to take the idea of the word sport and then integrate it into esports. So you see, like, for example, like the Miami Heat, it's like a giant basketball with fire coming out of it, going through a hoop, or
Mm-hmm.
like the Sharks, or whatever, like whatever team, like the Green Bay Packers, they're all giant logos and like they almost look like clip arts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you throw on stuff and make money. So I guess gaming is like they try to incorporate that into it, but we also live in a different time where like the minimalist is very clean, and that attracts and appeals to a lot of people as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
Also, kind of what you stand for. I kind of want my brand to stand for more like. I talked to another artist the other day, and he's saying like, "Oh, I want to change my logo." And he's like, "Oh, your original logo, I like it because it represents kind of like it's kind of classy. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're getting good work and it's kind of exclusive, kind of like what your name is. It's fancy. It looks fancy, clean, and minimal,
Yeah.
versus something that looks more like modern and poppy. It's more like it has class and maturity to it. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I was going for. Geez, you just buttered me up like crazy. God, what did I
Yeah.
do to deserve you?
Yeah, like yeah, at least like when it at least for when I look at your like group and company now at this point, like if I was living around the Bay Area, bro, and like I already knew you and like what you did, I would have I would have signed up by now. Even if it
Yeah.
even if it was like an intern that like wasn't getting paid at all, I would still be there and like literally just to know and experience and like get all that brain knowledge in my head.
Oh, you're a real one, Proto. To be honest with you, bro, I mean, we still work for free a lot too, And
Mm.
my partner Jeremy, he works. He had given me, he's graced me with, his, I guess you could say, loyalty as a
Yeah.
friend and a brother into working on this company with me as my partner, and so as the other members of my company, solely because we believe in the cause and like we don't really get paid like that. The goal is like, of course, to cultivate us to have opportunities to bring in finances and revenue, right?
Yeah.
Just to support each other, support other artists as well. But like a lot of the work is free, and we kind of just like so the whole Unfollowed series. It was a very expensive production, but I did it all out of just love. I didn't get
Yeah.
paid for it, and it was a huge learning experience because it was showed what it was like to be on set and do stage lighting and do filming and directing and all that at the same time. Um, so I know I completely understand the idea of you saying like I just want to work for experience as well, and that's kind of why I took on these jobs. And it's yeah, I won't lie, it's exhausting, bro, but just to hear you say that shows your ambition, and I totally understand that ambition. It's something that we all have,
Yeah.
and we all need to keep very very closely in our hearts, because if we kind of lose that ambition and that passion, we will feel drained. We will feel like it's not worth it. We will question ourselves, and we will ultimately just stop doing shit. We'll just become lazy, and we'll just be like, there's no point of doing it. There's no point of doing it. Like your motivation has to just be like entirely based on like, I want to learn some stuff and I'm willing to put myself out there, sacrifice my time and put my work in, and people will see that
Yeah.
and they will respect that. And it's like, it's a journey, it really is a journey. So just you saying that, Proto, you already know. I respect it, man. I respect it. You ever here? I would even try to pay you if, but
No,
I gotta
no,
get
no,
paid
no, no.
first. Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta.
I would like even if you gave me the opportunity to get paid, I probably still wouldn't accept it.
Hey, you know what? I've been there too. That's a whole different topic, bro. Cause like, you know, there's the whole idea and topic of finding your worth and value. And I used to always be like, it's okay, like I don't, but later there you realize that like in a sense, by you saying that, you're almost like for me, right? Not saying you
Hmm?
do this, but for me, it's almost like, oh, I'm actually being kind of rude if I don't take this. So you have to, or for me, I had to learn how to accept those things in full grace and full authentic appreciation, and fully show them that like I appreciate you and I respect your offer. so I'm going to accept it, and I thank you very much. Because before that, I always said no, and they'd be like, "Man," I'm like, "Oh, did I just like, are you getting mad at me for not taking the money? Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just being considerate." But I realized I was actually being more inconsiderate than considerate by turning down, their way of trying to support me. And that's a mission. I'm still learning that too, bro. And it was really something that I had to learn. So just letting you know that if I ever offered something to you, it would be because like this is me saying that like I appreciate you greatly and please accept it out of like the kindness of my heart. Like please accept it.
Yeah.
But if you were ever to intern, I will let you know that if I wasn't cashing out by then, it might be like I'll be
Hey,
totally honest with you.
like I when I actually first met Soul Park in person, um there was Ray obviously there, and it was mainly just me and Ray talking and stuff. And I saw that he had a Canon 80D, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"That's a really good camera. Like, how much did it
Yeah.
cost you?" He's like, "Oh, just 1.5K." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
Because
dude.
like to me that sounds like so much money, but
Yeah.
like to him it's probably just like, yeah, it's just 1.5K. It's not that
Yeah,
much.
dude. That's barely his commission when he sells
Yeah.
it out. Barely. Ain't shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I was like, "Hey, can I actually test it out?" And then he's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And then I was like, "You know anything about this or that?" Like I was talking about him like camera stuff, and he was like, "To be honest, dude, I don't know anything." And I'm like, "Really? So you got an expensive camera, but you don't know how to use it?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I just use auto."
Dude, no, for sure. There's definitely like people like they like to buy the nicer things and the better things and use it for practical senses. And I've definitely encountered a lot of people like that, which is nothing wrong because you'll still
Yeah.
produce really amazing work on auto regardless. But if they learn the power of whatever they're holding, if they wanted to, they could make some super crazy shit. And like
Yeah.
another thing that you brought up with like the whole pricing thing, right? I hella remember when I first started, dude. I saved up for months before I got my T3i. I was about 20 years old at that time, dude. I saved up for like 6 months to get $400 at that time. And to me, I remember thinking, holy shit, dude, 400 bucks? That's so fucking expensive. How am
I
I ever going to get
know.
this camera? But then, so I went ahead and I bought it and ended up selling it. And then finally was until like 2 or 3 years ago when I finally said, I'm gonna get the Sony A6500. And that went along
Mm.
with kind of what you talked about earlier was researching the hell out of the market
Oh
and
yeah.
trying to understand what it was that I needed and what suited my style and learning the practicality of the usage and what I wanted to do, A roll, B roll, et cetera, like wide angle, dance or movie shots or whatever. And
Yeah.
like, really, I was still absolutely a scrub at that time, which I'm not saying I'm not a scrub now. I just think I'm better at what I do than I used to be. you know?
Yeah.
But
Uh,
like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that like yeah, even like even now like I'm still not great at cameras either because my T1i, which is even older than yours, like than your first camera at least, like it's still a pretty reliable camera, but
Mhm.
there's still a lot of things that are like I would like to upgrade. Like at least when it comes to lenses, I only use the kit lens and then a 75 to 200 millimeter lens. That it's broken, but it still works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But um yeah, but like in terms of cameras, at least I would like a camera that's like quick, that has a flip out screen and stuff. But I just don't have the money for that.
Yeah, dude. No, okay. So about that, I hear you completely because, like, when I bought my A65, right, it was $1,200, and
Still is.
clearly, right, like you and I both, we hear 1,200, and I'm thinking, God damn, what the hell? That's 4 digits, dude.
Yeah.
But so what I realized is later on, and I used to use the kit lens for the longest time, dude. I did hella jobs on the kit lens. I used the kit lens for like over a year.
The kit
And
lens is really good though in the Sony cameras.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the f-stop is kind of high. It's like
Oh yeah.
3.5. It's the
It's
lowest.
3.5 to like 6.5.
Yeah, it's pretty like up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I film a lot of dancers, and all that stuff happens at night, or it happens in the club, and
Oh yeah, no, that's terrible.
and it blasts the ISO. It gets grainy, but it got the job done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It got the job done, and I was the only person that was super hard on myself. That I was like, "Oh, dude, this girl is so grainy." They just don't care. They're happy enough that someone's there filming them, and that was something I had to get over. But so in my head, that camera was super expensive. But then the more that I got into it, right? I noticed that in my head, my standard of the budget started changing. So back then, for example, I'd be like, damn, dude, that lens is $350. That's hell of expensive. How am
I
I
s-
ever gonna get that? But
I s-
now it's
yeah.
funny because now I'm looking at products and I say, damn, that lens is only 350. That's hella cheap. It's
Oh
so weird.
no.
Yeah, trust me, and like, but the more you get into it, Proto, you're gonna start to realize that like, oh, my standards are going up. And the way that I'm gonna try to reel, like, if I really want it, I'm gonna try to find a way to reel it in and make it happen, no matter how expensive it is. Like,
Yeah.
of course, there are people out there who are shooting with like the whatever, like Mark D, like 5D Mark 3, 4, or whatever, and
Yeah.
like that in itself is already like what $3,000 for the body, and they got that fucking lens that is like $3,000, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, but I'm not shooting on a cinema camera, so this is even that
Oh
expensive.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Bro,
which,
I would kill to have a camera that good, bro.
dude, me too. Even me, right now I'm shooting on the A7 III, which took me over 3 years to save for. I saved for
Jesus.
this camera for 3 years, and I finally got it. And like I said, I'm selling my A65 right now to kind of repair some of
How
that
much is
damage.
it? How
Uh,
much you selling it?
the A65,
Yeah.
A65, I'm selling for 875.
Mm. All right,
Yeah,
I'll
so it's
think
like,
about it.
yeah, no, don't worry, bro. I know, trust me. I know the game, bro. I be shopping, I be buying, so you already know, man.
Yeah, cuz
But,
I
hmm?
yeah, go okay. Cuz I already told you that I use Macari back in your stream, right? I was, looking around for used cameras and like there's a Sony A7, but it's a Mark 1
Yeah,
that's like being sold just body only for like $500 and it's like
those are
in almost perfect condition.
those are cheap. Like the A7 series. Like if you're not crazy about the autofocus and all that other new feature stuff, and you just want
Mm,
to stream with it or take pictures or whatever, A7s are perfect. Like they're full frame, they're under $800. Even A7 II you could probably find for like under like $800 or $900. It's just that
Oh, yeah.
happens to be that like the trade-off of the A7 or A6500 is that it's the form factor. It's small, it has
Mm,
crazy autofocus, it has 4K. But other than that, the A7 is amazing 4K or not, it's an amazing full frame camera.
yeah. Yeah, cuz like I'm mainly not doing videography because I got nothing to film. So
Yeah.
I'm mainly just taking pictures. So like a camera like that or the 5D Mark II, which I also found it with like four batteries and like two SD cards for like 540 $40,
Oh,
which is still
good.
really good.
Dude,
Yeah,
honestly, I don't know if you heard of this show called House. It's pretty old actually, so you might have not heard it. But
probably no.
yeah, it used to be a TV show on CSN. I don't forgot what channel it was, but it was a very popular TV series called House. And they filmed the whole series. This whole season 3 was filmed on a Canon
Mm-hmm.
5D. I think it was Mark 2 or 3. Yeah, it was insane. They filmed the whole TV series on that camera. And the fact that now in 2021 it's only $500, dude. I remember when that was happening, the camera was 2,500 bucks.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. So like it's crazy to think that like the only thing that we get desensitized to is that technology always comes out. New iPhone, you want the new iPhone because it has a slightly better megapixel, has a slightly faster RAM. But in reality, dude, you could use an iPhone 7 and be like
Yeah.
totally set. So we just got kind of like conditioned into thinking that we need all this new stuff, we need all this new tech. When in reality, it's like, dude, if you saw that shit 10 years ago, you would be like, that is some top of the line shit. I paid
Mm-hmm.
2 grand for that, kind of thing. Now it's you know, like we always want the newest latest thing when we don't truly need it. It's just kind of nice to have, and we kind of fall into that trap.
Yeah, like my T1i, right? It's like a decade old already. It's over
Yeah,
a decade old now because it's
over a decade
2021.
for sure, bro. I was
Yeah.
shooting with a T3i back when I was 20, so that was 11 years ago.
Jesus. Yeah, like
Yeah,
my T1i, it's like you would think that it's like not a great camera, and like Yeah, it isn't like there's a lot of issues that I would like not want to deal with. Like the autofocus isn't that great. I would mainly just use manual focus instead if I wanted to. It's just 16 megapixels. It's like there's a bunch of things that I would love to just like have improved, but if you're just like starting out, it's a really good camera for the price. Like I bought this with the kit lens for like $200.
So good, so
Yeah.
cheap,
So
so good and cheap.
yeah, so it just really depends what you use it for. Because like if it's for videos, hell no, this is trash. It can't even do 1080 at 60 frames.
So
So
crazy. That's
yeah,
so crazy to hear that there's a camera out there that doesn't shoot 1080 because we're so conditioned to that. But another funny thing I would say is that what really got me to think about the whole topic we're talking about now, right? Is I have a friend he's very hip,
yeah,
and he likes to shoot film and all this other stuff. And
mm,
I'm out here chasing the newest tech, like, oh, I need this camera, A7, blah blah blah, with the auto, blah blah blah, 4K thingy, right?
yeah,
But he shot some photos on a Fuji film camera, dude, from like the 80s, and his image came out beautiful. And I was like, dude, what are you shooting that on? That's insane. He goes, oh, film camera. I bought it for $80. And I was like, what the hell am I
yeah.
doing with my life? Like,
It just really depends like on the type of person and the experience that they have by doing like by using a camera.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, that's the thing I wanted to say. Like, okay, yeah, you're using a T1i, which is, 15-year-old camera, but like it doesn't matter. Like people are using Polaroids still, and that came out
Mm-hmm.
since your grandpa was like 12 years old.
Yeah, but because like there was a YouTuber like he's a pretty big like at least in the photography side is Peter McKinnon. And yeah, like he even showed how I think he bought the Rebel T7, which is like $400 right now, with like an entire set, not just like the camera and the kit lens. It's like the camera, the kit lens, a bunch of bags and like tripods and like filters and stuff like that for like $400. And he took the T7, and I think it was like the Mark 1, I think it was for Canon as well. He
Mhm.
took both photos of the same subject and just like gave it to someone like that's also a like photography nerd, and like he failed like 95% of the time to compare which one was the better one.
Yeah, of course. That is super facts. Like, for example, I used a 6500 to film the whole series. And some
Yeah.
people were like, "Dude, are you using an A7 blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "No, it's an." And honestly, I could have filmed that on an A 5100. 5100 is that vlogging
Oh
camera.
yeah.
It's just the knowing what you want to do, knowing your vision and trying to bring that vision to life no matter what, whatever budget you're on. And that's why I'm saying like, whatever camera you use, whatever lens you use, it's more so just who you are and what you want to present. You can present whatever you want on whatever budget. You'll find a way. That's what I mean. And
Yeah.
like it's oh, excuse me, a little burpy. But yeah. Um of course, having all the nice stuff is great. It's wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
right? But for the most part, you probably won't even be using half or more of those features. So, like,
True.
my friend, the other man, my partner, Jeremy, he just
Other
bought
man.
other man, my man's Jeremy, other dude, he just bought an A7S3. That's a
Mm,
$3,500 camera. 35.
Jesus.
And he's
35?
still
Oh my.
35, dude. It's almost like with tax, it's almost $4,000 or something like that.
God damn.
35, yeah, I think, no, it was 3,000 plus tax. It was almost $3,500. But he is still learning the settings of the camera itself. There's
Oh
so
my.
much going on in that camera, and you know it takes a lot of time to get used to something with that many features.
Yeah.
But now that he's figuring it out, he is able to pump out some crazy work,
Mm-hmm.
versus some people just want the I'm turning it on and I'm gonna set it to 4K and film, and it's still gonna look really really great kind of thing.
Yeah. Because at least for me, I was gonna I really don't know at the moment what camera to get, but I was
Mhm.
really focused on getting the M200, which is a mirrorless camera, and it's like $400 with the kit lens as well. But it has the same sensor as even their flagship models, which is why I'm like, yeah, I can probably get really good pictures since it's the same sensor, but I just need to get better lenses. But the
Yeah.
problem is there are no good lenses for the mirrorless like section, at least when it comes to Canon. But when it's Sony, they have really good lenses, but they're just so expensive in my opinion. Like they're like 400, $500.
Yep. Yep. I agree. The cheapest lens is like 250, and it's to be completely
That's
honest with
if yeah, that's if you want to go for the good ones. Like I
you.
did see that there's like a 35 millimeter one, like f 1.4 for like $30, which is like super cheap, which is like
Yeah.
what I was going for. But yeah,
Manual focus, things like, or you could get an adapter too, if anything.
that
Yeah,
is
you can
true.
get speed booster adapters, things.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people they would buy Sony, and then they would get a Canon speed booster or adapter to
Yeah,
use Canon lenses on a Sony.
because
So,
Canon lenses are really good.
oh
They
yeah,
are.
the glass is something else, But
Yeah.
for the most part, if you're working with Sony, chances are you like that autofocus. You just want you
Mm,
want your life to be easier, you
yeah.
know. So you
Like
buy the
yeah, cause I want to I'm like I'm really inclined to get a Sony camera because of like obviously the autofocus and how like you can take really quick pictures, especially now that I'm doing specifically street photography. So I'm like constantly moving around and like needing to take the perfect picture of a subject and stuff. So I need that fast autofocus and like a quick reaction, but my camera is trash at that.
No, I've been that guy before. I've been the T series guy before, and well, to be fair, it's actually I used a really nice lens proto. I think it was might have been a 24 2.0 or something like that. It was really cheap too.
Mm,
I think I must have spent like hundred something dollars on it, but really good lens. You should look into that.
yeah, I saw it. It's an EFS lens, right?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
I took a lot of really good
I'm
pictures on
pretty
that
sure
lens.
they still sell that.
Yeah. Oh, Canon is so old in the game of photography that they have such a vast collection of things you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if you just look around, even if you get a adapter for another brand lens, like a Viltrox or whatever it's called, or Yongno or some other off-brand lenses,
Yeah,
if you're using manual focus, chances are you'll still get some really amazing pictures for a very low price of lens. Like you
yeah,
could do something about it for sure. Like if you go on like the camera forums and type in like T something I and plus combination of lenses, you might end up getting something really nice
yeah.
for cheap, for very cheap. That's what I mean. The point
I
is budget.
I love how we said that we were gonna check at like the hour 30 mark, but we're about to hit 2 hours.
That's great. You know what? Let's I and a good thing is I also kind of prolonged it because I want you to hit your affiliate mark. So
That is true. No, 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 but it's fine. Like, as I said, I really don't care about affiliate. I just mainly care about getting things
never
out
stop.
and
Yeah, of
never
course. I mean,
stop.
of course, the longer we talk, the more content we'll have to. And for me,
Yeah.
I just it's my personal way of I guess backdoor supporting you. Just like, you don't need affiliate, of course. We're not aiming for affiliate or anything, but
Yeah.
just to know that like we did this together would make me feel good knowing that like, hey, we're in this together as well. So
Mm-hmm. Like
yeah.
right now, my main goal is to have like the episodes at least uploaded onto Spotify, but I don't know how to do that. Like I know how
Really?
to upload music, but it just takes forever to actually get released on Spotify. So like I'm trying to get like try and find a website or something that can do that and like put it up immediately. And I do know some companies that do that. It
Mhm.
just costs money, and I don't even work, so
Yeah.
I can't like go out and do like a $50 per month membership or anything like that.
I mean, I guess if you have to wait on SoundCloud, it doesn't hurt to just like put it up and then from there, put it up and then just wait since you'll have
Hmm?
it on here on your VODs. You can save your VOD, put it on Instagram. Instagram, IGTV doesn't have a limit too.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that actually.
yeah, you can do IGTV, but if you want audio only, I think SoundCloud is okay.
Yeah,
Um, and if you just dump it on Spotify, just leave it. Just leave
yeah.
it there and leave it sit
I'll
there.
probably yeah I'll probably upload it onto SoundCloud first since I've already had a couple of things that I've uploaded like songs and stuff.
Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'll work out as long as we have. different outlets for that. But let's see,
Hmm?
we're hitting about to hit 2 hours, and I think you said you had three questions or four
I
questions.
it was three if I'm correct. Let me just check my last
Sure.
question because I asked like two already.
Right, we have to. So I guess a good way is we can attend to the last question and then we'll go to our outro. This way we can,
Mm-hmm.
find someone to raid and go about our day. Always. Oh, another thing is that I've learned recently, Proto, always raid out because when you raid out, I think it helps you with supposedly. I don't know if this is true. You might be able to answer this for me, but it helps with your algorithm. And if it doesn't help with your algorithm, at least we're helping each other.
I, I don't know when it comes to rating because I've never rated in my entire life, but
Okay.
yeah, it might work. I don't know. Let's see. What was the question? Okay, so
Um.
let me see. Oh, never mind. Because it was just two questions that were the exact same thing, just like written in a different way.
I mean, you could try it, bro. Go for it, and maybe we'll have a different answer because we do
No,
have a few
it
minutes left.
it was just like I already asked you for your ultimate goal, your goals for 2020, and then the third question was what do you want to do in the future, but you've pretty much already responded to that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just to give, I could always give a different answer to a different question. But what I want to do in the future is, you know, shit. I guess you're right, huh?
Yeah, you said you already wanted to create like the building for like people to be there, and then do their
Yes.
own thing as well.
Well,
Fun
let's
fact.
do a short term goal then. So everyone here can hear it. Also, I guess most people in the chat are already a part of this journey, which is me
Yes.
just being more active on Twitch and yeah, just be more active on Twitch. I just really like being on Twitch lately, and like I said earlier, I'm starting a small clothing store on Depop that sells streetwear, and they come by pieces, so they're like kind
Mm.
of rare,
So they're
And
like
Japan,
limited edition.
Japan, love to go to Japan, absolutely.
Bro, I've
No
never
doubt
been
about
out the US except for like once. Actually, no. I have been out the US, which is going to Dominican Republic, but
that.
after that I've never been anywhere else. Like I've been to New Jersey. Yeah, I've been to like upstate New York and stuff, but I've like never been to California or Detroit or any of those places in my life.
Never been out east myself. I think the farthest I traveled was Seattle, like Washington.
Mm,
But other than that, I don't think I went to Hawaii, I guess if that counts. But I've never been to the East Coast at all. I've never traveled east. I've always stayed
bro.
on the west.
I
So
would
I
love to just like go like not just like be around here in the East Coast. Like hell yeah, I would love to go to like to Florida and stuff, but I've never been there as well. So like I would love to go like around the world and stuff, but like I just don't have the money. And I'm too young as well, so I probably can't even do that.
I mean, honestly, bro, I'm a firm believer of like in due time because you in a sense, right, you are very, like, I think you're very, very well put together young man. You are very responsible. You seem very mature for your age. However, hate to use the number card, but that does limit some certain things such as opportunities to
Yeah,
gain a certain amount of income with experience and, like, of course, age things like travel restrictions of like
yeah.
being 18 or 21 or whatever that is a real thing, unfortunately. So
Mm-hmm.
just know that like these things will come to you. I know that you deserve it because when you talk about it, it's something that clearly you're heading towards. And if that's the case, especially like being someone that has a passion in media, you do want to travel. You do want to see the kind of tech that comes out of Japan and Korea
Yeah.
and the UK and like EU and all that stuff. And taking pictures, street photography of things that happen around, it will motivate you to find your way there eventually. So without a doubt, I know that you will end up traveling for sure. Because for me, my motivation was dance at the time. Like I wanted to dance, so I went to Thailand, I went to Japan, I went to China, I went to Florida. I actually did go to Florida, but I never went to New York. So,
Mm.
but but I never did. I wish I did videos back then because I would be filming fucking everything, but I didn't. So
Yeah, like
now I want to go back and do that.
yeah, I feel like that's my main goal for 2021. Even though obviously I am about to be 16 in like a month now. Um, I think my main goal is to obviously stay in school, obviously, but get a job. Even though it's like a part-time job or like I get paid really like a minimum amount or whatever. That's like one of my main goals to get a job that is real, not a SYP thing, which is just school, just in the summer, and you get paid like I don't know how much they're paying me this time. They're like $1,200, not a month or like not a month or a week, more like the entire session, which is like almost 2 months of
No.
like yeah, it's just like 2 months for just $1,200, and after that, that's it. So you just wasted your entire summer for just $1,200.
Hey, to be fair, sometimes, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I respect it. Honestly, I respect it. But
Oh,
I hear you. I hear you that you do want something that, and it will come to you, dude. Like you're such a young in terms of age, which I'm sorry, I hate talking about age personally, but
it's
like,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like it is true that like just seeing how your mindset is now, you have things coming for you. And I can feel that because like if I was thinking about the shit you were thinking of, dude, when I was 15, I was like, I don't know, fucking cleaning trash cans to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like the fuck, like blasting my money on like, oh, dude, you get that new starter deck today? I just did all my chores. I made $15 for busting my ass for like 3 hours. Now I'm gonna go buy waste it all on this fucking Yu-Gi-Oh starter deck. Like, oh god, dude,
uh,
if I was you, Frodo, I'd be looking into cameras.
no, yeah, like at least when it comes to money, like I just want to upgrade the things that I have around me, like my PC, which is like I don't know half a decade old as well now.
Mhm, mhm.
In terms of like, cause I bought it like 3 years ago, but it was like in terms of actual specs, it's getting pretty old now and outdated. Um, I want to upgrade that. I currently like about a couple hours ago I bought myself a new monitor because I'm not even technically using a monitor. I'm using like a 30-inch TV that's like really bad in terms of like color correction and stuff. So which is why I haven't been like editing photos on my PC. Instead, I've been doing it on my iPad, so I can get actually color accurate photos. But yeah, like it's just things like that. I would love to get like some Sony XM4s or some Philips headphones. Even though I have open back ones, I want some closed back ones and like things like that. It's just like small things even though like some of them may cost a lot, it would like in terms of like what I do and every day and like things that I use, it does help out a lot, especially like when it comes to audio, when it comes to video, and displays and stuff like that, and et cetera, et cetera.
You absolutely want to slow, dude. I remember for the longest time, I used to edit photos on my old TV. Oh my god, that was another time in my life right there. But I've been there for sure, bro. And before I had a mic, actually I didn't have a mic at all. I used to use this mic that was $20 from
Mm.
Office Depot. It looked like a long pencil. Like,
Oh yeah, I know those.
oh my god, that's what I used to use, bro. And
I have one of those.
oh, but yeah, dude, those are old school. They're $20, and you sound like ass. And in terms of like, I used to edit before I bought my PC. I used to edit on my MacBook, which actually was given to me. So before I had the MacBook, I have a long history of not having shit, Proto. That's why I'm so
Same.
grateful, dude. You know what I'm saying? So like, I used to not have a laptop.
I
I
don't have.
borrowed.
I technically don't have one as well.
Oh, so you use everything on.
My
uh
desktop.
Oh, and that's great. I'd rather have a
Yeah.
desktop than a
I
laptop.
would
To be
prefer to
totally.
have a laptop than a desktop, so I can actually like, let's say for example, if I have to go like out the country and like, 'cause especially like when my mom likes to go to DR every summer or every around my birthday, I can still be in class, especially now that we're in quarantine, so we just had to like show our faces once and then disappear. Um,
Yeah.
so it would be good to have one, but like my sister has one and we do have one, but like it's like really old and like it got fried, so it's kind of
Yeah.
useless now.
I think it's crazy that we talk about all these gears and stuff, but like in the reality of a lot of building and getting what you have, we don't start with what we have. You know what I mean? We start
Huh.
off with doing what we can with what we have then, and with a vision and a goal, we move towards the things that we want and have. So like clearly, you talk about you don't have a laptop or you don't have the certain tools that you want. But
Hmm?
if you didn't tell people that, right, they would have no clue because your minimalist podcast interface right now looks like it's done on a nice like PC and a setup
Yeah.
with your mic and everything. And like the videos I used to make, right? I used to color grade it on a shitty old TV from I don't know 2002, and whatever had an HDMI port I used, and
Yeah.
then a slow laptop. People would have never guessed like where we came from, with the kind of interface or work we produce.
Yeah. Like I consider myself lucky, especially with the job that my dad has. He works as a superintendent.
Mhm.
So we actually live he's technically working 24/7 because we live in the building that he works in.
Oh shit,
So, yeah, so like there is a lot of benefits, like we don't have to pay for rent, light or anything like that, which is like really good.
that's a big deal, man.
Yeah, that
That's a
is a
big
big
deal.
deal. So but there's also like downsides, which is like occasionally, the people that live here aren't the best sometimes, or they get really aggressive, and
Yeah, I
but
hear that.
in terms of being lucky, like we like a lot of the things that I have, right? They're from the trash. Like since my dad, he's the superintendent, so he has to take out the trash of the entire building. So we get to keep things that people throw out that may be considered trash, but to us it's like,
Oh yeah,
a lot of good stuff. Like the fun fact, the iPad that I was talking about right now,
yeah,
it's just a broken iPad that my dad found from the trash. And like I have like you know the Microsoft Zune? You
yeah,
remember that? I
yeah.
have one of those, and it was also from the
Oh
trash.
shit, Zune,
Yeah.
yo, that is throwback as fuck.
Yeah, I even have like the current phone that I use is a Samsung A20, which is like $100 phone, right? Not really that expensive. But if you go into my closet, right? I have an iPhone 6s, an iPhone X that are both broken. Like their screens don't work, but I could fix them if I wanted to, and I could just have a brand new iPhone that's like $1,000.
Right.
so, so like to some people, it's like it's considered trash, but especially to me, who like I love technology and stuff. I
Yeah.
take all of that and I embrace it. I like either I hold it and I eventually either give it out to someone else, or like it's just like really I feel really lucky to have all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
things that I have, even though like they could be from the trash or they could be from the efforts from my mom and my dad. It's just like I feel like if it wasn't for the job that my dad had, I would probably be in an even worse condition than I'm in now. Like I'm so grateful to be like have like even talking to you. Like I would never like in my entire life be talking to someone like either like to you maybe it doesn't seem like much, but like to me it feels like I'm talking to like some famous person, right?
Are
Like
you crazy, Proto?
like yeah, like you run your own company and stuff. Like to me it would like it's like a dream come true. Like I would love to be working in like and doing something that I would love, like a passion that I have. Like if it's even if it's like photography, like I would love to be in the situation that you're in. Even though
Bro.
like yeah, obviously there are downsides and stuff, but it's
Yes.
it's still amazing. It's amazing like to have something like that.
That means the world to me because I used to dream about the position I was in now, and I knew what the ups and downs would have been, and I knew what I would have to sacrifice, But
Yeah.
like me, in this moment that I'm in, is like I'm still working every bit that I can, trying my best to pour whatever I can in to just make a foundation of something. And to hear you say that, it's seriously like I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. And I'm very motivated to move forward because of I would never have looked at myself that way. So that's why I'm like, what?
No, it's all good. Like it's just like at least when it comes to me, like if I had the opportunity to be doing something that like that you're doing right now, I would literally drop everything right now and like follow that dream. If I knew that I could be in that position that you are now, like I would love to be there. Like or like either like not even be in that same position that you are, or just literally just be a part of it. It would be amazing. Like it would make me feel so happy if like I could do something that you're doing right now, like having your own company, or like doing like the videos that you make. It's amazing compared to
Wow.
like what I do now.
No, bro, dude, like, first of all, like, thank you. I'm speechless at, like, really, really, because, like, I look at you and me as, we're in the same place. We're in this together. That's kind of how I look at it. That's why I'm here. I'm here with you
Yeah.
because I believe in this. To me, I look at your minimal podcasting and I think, well, this shit's tight, So, like, keep doing this too. I like it a lot, and I think it's a very, very good interface, good thing you have going here. And feel free. I was gonna say, feel free to have me on like monthly if you want, man. I'll make time just so that we can keep your flow going and keep people engaged. Because even you have Harry on and have more people on because what you have going on here is really dope. It's really dope, and I believe with all my heart that you will not only be in my position, but I believe you will be in a better position than me because of the way you think, dude. Like you're a very smart person, and yeah, like I wasn't doing shit when I was 15, like I said. Also, for you to like be thinking about this stuff already. You already have some kind of a set goal of a feeling that you want to kind of like attract into your life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and anytime you just want to talk about this stuff or just discuss these kinds of things, I'm totally always open to it. Cause like I don't care how old you are. I don't see you any different than me. You know what I mean? And I hope you don't see me any different than you are either. Like, and even though you say I have all these things like and stuff, right? I'm still trying to figure it out as we go too.
Yeah.
So we're literally here figuring things out together. So
Hmm?
I'm in awe, Proto. Thank you for that, man. Seriously.
No problem. Like you don't have to call me Proto either. You could just call me Javi or Javier. That's my real name if you want.
Oh, snap. Yeah, I'm so used to calling me Proto. It's just like how when
Yeah.
I first started talking to Harry and I was like SP and he was like Pandroid and all of a sudden now we're like, it's
Yeah.
weird calling you Harry, but
Harry.
so at least now I have a different outlet to refer to you as, like I might
Yeah.
call you Proto or Javi here and there, depending on the mood, it will just come out. And it was funny because I was like, no, your name is probably Zane.
No, bro, ever since like okay, so I even when I was young, I was still good. Well, I wasn't good, but I was like all right at like keeping a brand. Like
Uh-huh.
this is the second time that I've ever changed my name like online or in general. So like before I would go by, since I was really young and I played a lot of Minecraft when I was younger, I would go by like even in my YouTube channels and stuff, I would go by, a really cringy name, DJ Wolfie 19, right? So like when I was younger, right? Yeah, that's pretty cringy. But even until I was like 13 or 14, I still kept that name no matter what I did. And now it was in until like I think it was 8th grade that I changed my brand name at this point technically, right? To Protozane. So like I'll
Uh-huh.
probably still keep this name for a couple of years.
I think honestly, dude, your name is freaking sick as fuck.
I, I I really just made it out of a whim because I was trying to find a new name, and I was like I had an option between X, I think it was like literally just X,
Mm-hmm.
or it was Proto or Zane. And
Uh-huh.
I was like because like one of my friends had the name Proto, but it was based off of an anime that he was watching. So I was like, I like the name Zane, but I like the name Proto because it just sounds nice. So I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
let me just put Proto Zane together and hope that things go well.
Dude, it's cool because the name Proto Zane is so catchy and it sounds so like modern and hip that it's already a brand. You could literally just slap on the word Proto Zane in like white text on a hoodie, and I would probably buy it. I'd be like, that's kind of cool. It's better than like some random like there's like random hoodies out there where it says like I don't know, love birds fly, and I'd be like, okay, well if you like birds, I'm sure you like it, but I'd rather get one that says Proto Zane on it. That's why I love the Soul Park hoodie so much. It's just simple. It's Soul
Yeah.
Park on your chest. Like that's sick. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, if I could like like I know that I could make clothing, and I already know how to make it, and I know how to do things, but I just don't have a good company because Stream Elements, I don't know if you use it, but Stream Elements has an actual option where you can make your own store for free.
I did
But
not know
yeah, it's like you can make mugs, you can make gaming mouses and stuff. I mean, like not gaming mouses, mouse pads. Sorry, clothes, sweaters. I think even underwear. I don't know why.
that.
Um,
Sick. Nice.
sick. But the company that they use to make those clothes is called Gildan. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Familiar with Gildan. Yes,
Ye-
absolutely.
Yeah, like in my opinion, at least, I have used Gildan products before, and I feel like they're not the best, especially when it comes to clothing. I don't
Absolutely.
consider them really that good, so I was thinking of just
Right with
holding.
you.
Yeah, I was just waiting to do something else.
Dude, so like it's funny you say the Gildan thing because of course you know Kanye West, right?
Oh yeah,
Dude, so Kanye West came out with this line of T-shirts. It was limited edition, and I think he charged, might be like $125 per shirt, which
Jesus.
was limited, so it went up to $400 because of the limited like quality of it, right?
Yeah.
It's made on Gildan. It's a print on Gildan.
Oh my,
So
that's
like
like
the thing is,
$20.
it was $400 for a Gildan tee, right? Which the crazy thing is that goes to prove that a lot of stuff is just hype. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like idea of like someone wanting to buy something because quality is ass. Everybody knows Gildan is literally it's like Fruit of the Loom's cousin, you know? Literally Fruit of the Loom's cousin. And like I'm not knocking out Fruit of the Loom because like I have socks made by Fruit of the Loom. I have
Mm,
underwear. I used to wear underwear by Fruit of the Loom, right? But then
yeah.
you start to realize that like, oh shit, this is literally like I said once again, street wear
Yeah.
of whatever it is, you know? And like if the quality is not gonna be the greatest, like but in terms of like Champion or Nike, they used to be streetwear, but now they've improved their quality because their branding has increased.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Gildan and Fruit of the Loom, they kept their rhythm, they kept their style of producing whatever the hell they do in
Yeah.
that price only. They only make that. That's all they make. But for Kanye West to say, you know what, I bet you I could still charge $125 for my t-shirts, even if it's Gildan, he did, and people didn't care, and it went up to 400, and people still bought it, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, clearly you guys aren't like, and I get it, it's a collector's novelty, right? Like you
Yeah.
might not even ever wear it, you want it because you're a fan of Kanye or his brand and his the limited quantity of it, but realistically speaking, he got you.
He just stole your money.
Yeah, he could have easily been like, I don't know, use a you could use Fruit of the Loom for Christ's sakes. That's at least kind of better, you know.
You can, like, and you could see, especially from the stream elements, because it shows you how much money you earn and how much it goes to actually making the shirts and stuff. Like, if you put a $20 shirt, you only earn like $6 or $11, I think it is. So like to even produce a Gildan shirts, it's like $5 to
Yeah,
make one shirt.
yeah. So you only get like I mean, luckily the cool thing is like you don't really have to do shit. You just upload a logo and leave it there. But like
Yeah.
you are really only getting roughly 25% of what they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
If 40 at most, because they it's a cool way. If you don't like really think about it too much, it's passive income, just slap it on there. And actually it's funny that you bring that up because I might look into that.
Yeah. Like at least the like the type of brand that I like using right now when it comes to shirts at least is St. John's Bay. Like I use like the shirt that I'm currently wearing right now is from St. John's Bay, and I really like their clothing at least. Like
Google
it's
it right
pretty soft. It's pretty soft and like pretty stretchy. Like even like if you compare it to Gildan again,
Oh
like
yeah.
I did have a Gildan shirt before, and I bought it in large, and like like it was tight on me with large, but with St. John's Bay, it's like really stretchy and stuff, and like really comfortable, and I like it. Like this would be, I would even like wear this. I mean, I would even use it as a blanket at this point.
Very nice. I'm looking at it on JC Penney's website right now.
Yeah, the shirt, yeah, they're like $15 a shirt in J.C. Penney's right now.
Yeah, I definitely see that. They have a lot of like very base, like the basic style, which is really
Mm-hmm.
what all we need, and which
Yeah.
kind of brings me back to why I like Soul Park's branding so much. Because Soul Park, he has a lot of supporters. He has the whole fam, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
like, no matter what Soul Park does, we are going to buy Soul Park merch because we love Soul Park, right? He
Yeah.
could have just like made I don't know Soul Park like uh like hoodies on the Gildan hoodie, and like we still would have bought.
Yeah.
This dude is so dope. He made it on champion hoodies. That's how much he cares about us and the quality of his stuff. And that's what makes him such a dope person because he cares
Mm-hmm.
about the quality of what he puts out. He cares about his people. And he doesn't want people out there to be like, I'm rocking this Soul Park hoodie. He got it embroidered. You know, some
Yeah.
people just screen print it on. I'll be real with you. I hate screen printed stuff because you wash it twice and it
Oh yeah, it's
peels
just
off.
to peel off.
Yeah, but like he went out of his way to get champion hoodies with the embroidery on it. And I'm just like, dude, I love this hoodie. Not only that it stands for someone I support, it's made with it's well thought out.
Yeah.
It's made with care and it shows that he cares about his stuff, his quality, his branding, and his people and his community. So like of course I want to make Pandroid stuff, right? But like maybe I'll make Pandroid mugs because I love coffee and I want my viewers to drink coffee or tea or water with me in the morning, you know? And
I'll
I want to
buy
make
it.
sure there's not a Gildan cup. That's all I'm saying.
I'll buy it.
I,
I'll
I
take your
appreciate
entire stock.
how it's like all my Gildan cups.
Yeah, no.
Gildan big cups.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's kind of like one thing that I wanted to talk about as well because like, you know, we can easily use Stream Element stores and make shitty stuff like Fruit of the Loom and Gildan, but
Yeah.
what would that say about us? What would that say about how we care about our people? I want my people to have quality stuff, but also not break their bank. You know,
Oh
I
yeah.
want them to buy it because they not because they only support me, but because they like the product itself too. And that's what I
Hmm?
think is so cool about the Soul Park logo because you don't have to be like some like you don't have to look for something crazy. It's a very solid, minimal, straightforward design that just says Soul Park. Even if you don't know Soul Park and you just happen to like Korean people, you're gonna buy it because it says Soul Park on
Yeah.
it.
Like at least like the reason why I mainly haven't bought any of his merch was like in terms of my opinion, because I wanted to buy a sweater because I don't really buy shirts like from people, so I was gonna buy a sweater, but it's like $70, and I was like, that's kind of expensive, but and like to other people, it may not be, so because I'm just a kid, it's probably not that
Of
expensive.
course. And no, to be fair with you, bro, like, Harry is my brother and all, right? $70 is a lot for hoodie. I mean, it's not like hella expensive to where it's unpurchasable, right? But
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I, well, champion hoodies are $70 anyways, to be fair. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to the store, you buy a brand new champion hoodie. It's like 59.99 for one of the like less well weaved ones, and then you buy the nicely weaved ones. It's 69.99. But
Mm.
so in this logic, you're getting not only you're getting a quality champion hoodie, you're getting Soul Park's logo on it, which probably costs more to add. And
Yeah.
in reality, he's probably not really profiting that much at all. If I don't even
Yeah.
think profiting is his goal. I think he just wants to put his stuff out there for his people to rock. And like but I think $70 for anything is a lot. You know what I mean? He's like
Yeah.
personally saying like, but I understand his pricing and I respect his pricing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like even without the Soul Park logo, you're already paying that much to begin with to get a champion hoodie. So
Yeah.
going back to my point, I understand you, Proto, because $70 is a lot for anything. And
uh
like if I was the one putting out that hoodie, I would understand too if some of my supporters couldn't afford it. I'd be like, dude, that's almost $100. Like
yeah.
I'm very lucky that Anne sent me a hoodie because I wasn't able to buy Harry's hoodie at the time either. And if you ask me right now, like it would be difficult for me to buy it too due to my financial situations. But of course, I want to buy it and I would support him. But realistically speaking, I probably wouldn't have been able to buy it until like February due to the position I'm in. I was
Yeah.
just lucky, you know. Our lovely Anne had sponsored me with one, thank goodness, and I love the jacket. I wear it every
Hey,
day.
bro.
Like,
Talking about that, bro. I won the giveaway that he was doing.
yeah,
Still haven't gotten my shirt, bro. I'm waiting.
I got a busy guy. He ships out a ton of
Yeah.
packs all day, so you will get it. And when you do get it, I believe that you're gonna be wearing it because you already know Soul Park is It's a man of quality, man. The guy
Oh
he
yeah.
got class. He got class, and he
Right.
can wear it to his show, bro. That's the dope part. I can't even say that much.
Okay, so I just checked Stream Elements, right? So
Yeah.
all the type of merch that they sell are hoodies, you know, like those stickers that you could just stick on, you know, like the wall or anything. T-shirts, mugs, mouse pads, extra large mouse pads, tank
Damn.
tops, phone cases for an iPhone or a Samsung phone case. You can, oh, they added this now. They added blankets as well.
Hey, that's lit. Can you imagine all the girls out there who would buy a blanket of just Harry's face?
Yo,
I'll buy it.
that thing would be sold out in like 2 seconds.
Limited edition Soul Park blanket. Dude, we gotta tell him about that. We gotta pitch that to him ASAP.
He's streaming tonight, so let's do it.
Just hop in and be like, yo, where the Soul Park underwear at, bro?
Were they talking about booty shorts like the first time he put out his merch?
You know they'd buy it. You know they'd buy it. I'd buy
Yeah.
it. Just I wouldn't wear it, but I'd buy it.
You just secretly like wear it and you're like, yo, that's some nice ass booty shorts right there.
That's lit. I'm gonna take a selfie and hopefully no one ever finds it.
Oh no.
But okay,
No.
so we have been streaming for 2 hours and 27 minutes. Let's call it at 2.5 hours just for the sake of calling it. Because
Yeah.
also, like I said, bro, if you need me monthly here, I would be more than happy to be here to support your channel. Just if you need someone to talk to about another topic or just make it a regular thing, like just let me know, man. I'm here for you.
I'll appreciate it. I mean, I'll appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate it. Sorry.
You will. I mean, if you do, you will, right? So you're speaking in future tense. I got you. I got you, bro.
Yeah. So yeah. So, you know, obviously thank you for being on here. You know, it was way longer than what I needed it to be, which, you know, I'm so grateful for.
Of
Um
course, bro. I'm happy to be here, and I am grateful that you asked me to be your guest.
oh, no problem. Like you're an amazing person, bro. Like people need to know who you are and like, you know, the type of person that you are and like your beliefs and etc etc. But, you know, like it's just amazing to have you here.
Thanks, man. Thanks, bro. Thanks. How
No.
you about to make me cry?
No, bro, you're just amazing in general. You're a really great person.
Takes one to know one. That's all. I always say that in every stream. Whatever you say about me, it's probably because you're that too. You know what I mean? It really takes one to know one. And like, shout outs to everybody that's still here in the chat
That
that
is
came
true.
to listen. You got Ina, you got Love Yourself, we got Kay, Teresita, whoever's still here that did come through. Shout
Love
outs
you
to you
guys.
guys supporting me, supporting Zane. Well, I'm gonna call you Zane, Proto, Hobby, one of those.
Yeah, it
You know
doesn't
what I'm
matter.
talking about. Sashi's here for sure. Sashi's
Hey, bro.
always here. Appreciate you, girl. And just I hope you guys know that your guys' support is why we're able to do what we do. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Even though I don't know how to speak, but thank you very much, everybody that was here. I really appreciate it. Um, I don't know what to say to be honest, but yeah, like thanks for being here. You know, you guys are amazing, and hopefully, you know, if you guys stay here for, you know, as long as I do this, you know, maybe I don't know, it would be great to, you know, eventually be as big enough to sorry, I just don't know like what to say, but like you know, eventually maybe even I don't know, I could interview a president one day like Obama, I don't know. But yeah, that would be really great.
But I will say this though, Proto, and for everyone in chat. Instagram or Twitter is a very powerful tool these days. I'm not a Twitter guy, but I'm trying to be a Twitter guy. But I think one cool thing that you could do too, Proto, is like maybe whoever is here now, you can ask them to follow you on Instagram, and then tell them you can set up a poll where it's like, what should I talk about next time? And then you could list like maybe 3 or 4 different topics,
That
and then
is
have
true.
people vote. Yeah, and then be like, I'm going to talk about this on this day. You guys voted for it, so please come and check out the information that I've researched and here to present and share with you guys. This way, we can bring more points of interest and be more engaging with our supporters as
Yeah.
well. Because I
I'll
know that maybe you're a great researcher, you're a very detailed person, so maybe you'll be able to find
well,
something that
yeah.
that they want to
Uh
know about.
yeah, so like yeah, well you obviously my Instagram is on the screen there. So also there's Pandroid and all of his other Instagrams, you know, go follow him as well, you know. great dude. But yeah, like if you follow my Instagram, probably after next week's stream, probably after I upload it onto YouTube, I will put up not a poll, but more of a like on Instagram at least, where you guys can give your own suggestions that you would like to know about, and depending on like what type of god damn it, like depending on what the subject is, yeah, I will research about it, and eventually, next not next week, the week after, I will probably talk about any of the subjects that you guys have given me.
Yeah, there you go. So like, as long as we keep that engagement going, please always come help out, and support our little brother Zane, Proto Zane, Hobby Zane, Proto Hobby. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll have more good talks. And I'm pretty sure that whenever SP is free, he'll gladly come on, and he has a great following. So,
Oh
we'll
yeah.
bring a lot of people in, more expand the web of your connections and networking. So I think that'll be great, man. Look forward to having SP on, and you can always look forward to having me on whenever I have the time, man. I'm always willing to help out.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, man.
Of course, of course.
Alright.
So I was gonna say,
Yeah.
if you don't mind,
Uh-huh.
my friend 2D Nudes, just today's her first stream actually,
Uh-huh.
and she was kind of she was debating on streaming until I told her like just try. So I'm very happy and proud of her that she's doing her first stream right now. So we have 8 viewers in here right now.
All
Um,
right.
would you be down to raid her just to give her some support?
Oh yeah. I would
Yeah,
100% be down.
let's
Let me
do it,
see.
bro. Let's go raid her, and I will see you in there. I also been I'm not gonna lie, I've been holding in my pee for the past 45 minutes, dude. But we made it. We did it. 2.5 hours, baby. We out
Let's
here.
go.
Let's do it.
Let me see, where is she? Or he, I don't know.
It's a she. Her name's
Is
Christina.
she?
This is
All
her.
right. Okay.
2D. Wait, did I spell that right? I can't spell. I wrote second dudes instead of 2D
Second
nudes.
dudes. All right. Because I don't know how to rate at all, but yeah. Let
Go.
me
I
let me
think that.
see.
Wait. Let me make sure I got it capitalized. 2D nudes. There we go. You can just copy and paste. That would be the /raid 2D
All
nudes
right.
like that.
All
That would be
right.
the command. Oh shit!
Raid. I don't think it works. Let's see.
Yeah, I couldn't do. I was like, I don't. You don't have permission to do that.
There we go.
Now we have 13 people in here.
All
Please
right.
stick around, and we'll
And
be rating 2D news. And thank you, Proto, for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining and being here.
yeah, thanks everyone, and I will hopefully see you guys next Saturday. Yeah.
Here, brother. All
Yeah.
right. See you on the other side, y'all.
All right then.